Yeah.
Yeah.
Saw somewhere. Where is it? Oh, Jordan, what the hell's going on? I ain't seen it in a couple years, man. Let me know what's good, man. Is Victor still there? What's
the hell is going on here?
Damn, is Adam acting up again? What's Nick and Victoria doing?
Oh, that's a lot of buttons down for a live stream.
You gotta do what you gotta do, man. It's a Friday.
Well, I mean, it is a Friday. You got your arms out. I might as well. We got arms out, chest out. What are we doing? I got the cutoff in the car just in case.
We got a little bit of a reprieve. It's not 108 today.
Oh, it's not? What is it? Oh, it's 105?
Yeah, just a little reprieve.
All right. Them 3 degrees, boy.
The phone says 102, but I think it'll get higher.
Oh, 102. That's appropriate.
It's crazy though. Like you do feel, we talked about it before, but you go to like Vegas and 115 feels different than 105. Like you come back to 105 and like, oof, it's kind of chilly.
You know what it is, Katrina. Here we go. Show starting.
Yeah. We got them screaming, come on, KC, come on, KC, D-Lo, KC, D-Lo. We got them screaming, come on, KC, come on, KC, come on, D-Lo. Yeah, number one spot. We a number one spot for some sports, huh? Got the city going crazy when we work, huh? We top 2, but we ain't 2, we in first, huh? And when you need the real, we is who you search, huh? D-Lo, KC, D-Lo, KC, D-Lo.
Hey.
D-Lo, we your number one spot.
Vibe check on this Friday. What's good, baby? Vibe check on this Friday. Let's go. Welcome in here to the Friday, July 14th edition of D-Lo and KC. I'm Damian Burling.
Acknowledge me.
He's Kenny Caraway.
Yes, sir.
Acknowledge me.
The best part about what just went on is people can see into this window. And you can see them scrambling to their phones, trying to pull up what is taking place inside this studio. Oh, D-Lo and KC ain't going nowhere.
Well. Are we going places?
Yeah, D-Lo and KC are going somewhere.
We going places, baby.
We
going places, baby.
I don't think we're announcing anything at 4:00 today, but I think we're going to be telling y'all something very, very soon. I just thought the end of the road bit was too funny to pass up. I mean, sometimes you just got to lean into the bit. Sometimes you just got to let it rock. Sometimes you just got to start music to play the show that it's going to have to be edited off of YouTube at 4:00.
What happened?
It is what it is. Let us live. Let us live. As a matter of fact, shoot, if we're doing it, we might as well do it. That one might be a little too sad. They're at a funeral and all of that.
You want to play Boyz II Men and Mariah Carey next? You want to play?
Oh my gosh.
Yo, I don't know if I ever want to hear that song again.
Man, One Sweet Day. Boy, oh boy.
That song is sad. Jeez. What it's so hard to say goodbye. Was that House Party 2? Or did they just play it in the
they played it in House Party 2. It was on Cooley High. It was Cooley High Harmony, but they played it. They played it in House Party 2. Man, appreciate y'all for being with us. Big Friday vibes right here.
Yeah, man.
Hit the thumbs up. Shout out to everybody who's checking in. Shout out to everybody who's here with us. Shout out to everybody on the Odyssey app on 1320 AM. Shout out to everybody on 98.5 FM HD2. If you got an HD radio and you haven't flipped over from 1320 to HD, do it. It's life-changing. Trust me, we sound way better in HD. That's way better in HD. We're available on TuneIn, as we mentioned. We're available on 1320 TV, twitch.tv/ESPN1320, youtube.com/ESPN1320. You can find us on Twitter and Facebook as well. James Ham will be with us here the final hour of the show. Also, honorable mentions, top 25 games of the Kings season begins on Monday. And we've got the honorable mentions, man. This is going to be fun. Each day we're going to look back at a different Kings game from 25 down to number 1. It's real tough to think that not every single human being listening to this doesn't know what the number 1 game is from this season. But hey,
the real suspense is 2 to 25.
Could be a swerve. It could be a swerve. You never know. But today we've got the honorable mentions. Great games that didn't make the list. We're going to touch on all of those today, man. It's going to be fun. And, of course, we'll keep you updated on everything going on in the world. Kings played last night. Kings actually do play again tomorrow, which I didn't think that they did.
News to me.
Well, that's going to be
last night. I was singing Boys to Men to the Summer League team last night. And then all of a sudden, yeah, they'll be there on Saturday.
Like, wait, I still have questions. Like, why? I thought this was it. Like, why are you releasing the schedule day by day? Nobody asked for this. I thought they were released. I thought it was the playoff schedule, and that's why it wasn't scheduled. Oh, Kings play the Bucks. For what?
One last time.
Are we sure?
No, we're not sure.
Okay.
Because if they win, they're 3-2.
All of a sudden.
You mean to tell me they ain't making the playoffs at 3-2?
Well, now all of a sudden, Summer League is 15 games?
Well, I don't know. I mean, they got
top 25 games in the Kings Summer League?
They got a new what's the media rights deal they got to pay.
Maybe, well,
more games.
You know, Summer League's up for grabs this year. Somebody pays 1.5. Apple TV pays $1.5 billion to air all of Summer League.
I read a crazy thread on that sphere, whatever it is.
Okay.
And how they're making money off of it. They're going to be making money hand over fist on that.
Well, it's advertising, right?
Yeah, hand over fist. They did it.
I don't like them.
Obviously, they did a deal with the NBA.
Yeah.
And that was a few million.
Yeah, I don't like him, but your boy is smart.
You got this one right.
Yeah,
and they're doing another one in London.
Smart.
They said they're doing
really
one in London. And the way they can use that, it's actually, I used to think it was a hotel. It's not a hotel. It's just
a venue.
Yeah, a venue.
And it's called the MSG Sphere.
Mm-hmm. And they said that Sphere and the advertising will be akin to Times Square with the advertising they can do on there and everything they can do.
Okay. Yeah, checks
it's gonna
out.
Be crazy.
That checks out. Yeah, again, I don't like James Dolan, but that's pretty damn brilliant.
They did.
But they said it was $2 billion.
$2 billion. Started off at $1 billion.
Of course.
Then the pandemic hit and pushed costs up.
Boy, you know what the hottest story in sports today might be?
Huh.
Did Future go at Russell Wilson? Is that really a question?
I mean, it looked clear as day to me.
I don't know. Like Bleacher Report, did Future shade Russ? Like, yeah. I don't think that's in question.
And it was just a little shade. Like it wasn't even like he didn't go at him like I was gonna call a name. I'm not gonna call a name. Like dude did the comedian did KD. I thought that was ridiculous.
Yeah,
I thought I understand like KD called him trash. So I mean the gloves are off, but everybody's like, oh my gosh, he killed KD. There's a lot of narrative stuff in there.
No, he like Kamara was really excited about that video yesterday. It was like, come on, man. I also wouldn't pick fights with comedians though. I just like I like that's what they do for a living.
Yeah,
like I would not do that.
Yeah.
But of course, Kevin Durant doesn't care. I actually have a different Kevin Durant story to talk about later. But the Kings get a win last night, 93-80, as Casey just noted. They're 2-2 here on the Summer League. We'll come back since we kind of goofed around here for the first 12 minutes.
Say a proper goodbye.
And it's all going to have to be edited off of YouTube as the day progresses. We'll dive into I think we did see some good things last night. Really good outing from Kessler Edwards. And I wanted to see that. What does it mean? Absolutely nothing. But I wanted to see it. We got to see it. We'll come back. We'll talk more Kings basketball. As I mentioned, James Ham, final hour of the show. Lots of great stuff ahead. You could be a part of the show if you'd like, 916-909-1320, or you can jump in, hang with the crew in the chatty house over on 1320 TV. We're just getting started. It's Steele and KC, brought to you by Sky River Casino here on Sacramento Sports Leader, ESPN 1320. Yeah, it says it says live. You're here. That's weird. Hit well, as long as one of us is in here, it's fine. Pause. Hit refresh. See what happens. Stop sharing this stuff too. Okay. Thank you, man. That's unplug and plug it back in.
State Fair starts tonight, huh? I think
It
so.
does.
14th.
It does. Yeah, I think the wake up call is out there for whatever show is going on tonight.
For sure. We don't have nothing to do with it, but I kind of want to go to Genuine.
Yeah, there's a couple of shows I'd like to go to. What was Jesse doing during that intro? Probably regretting life's choices. That's my guess.
I'll send him the show tweet out.
Yeah.
Oh, glad to see you're not blocked. Wasn't sure.
Well, she's the one who scheduled the meeting. It's Kimberly who scheduled our demise. Who schedules a 4:00 meeting on a Friday on Tuesday?
Yo,
it's like your execution has been scheduled.
Long walk.
Mm-hmm. Hey,
Jordan.
hey.
So is Victoria, Nick?
Yo, what is happening right now?
I need to know. Jordan got in the chat talking about how crazy it was, so it must be crazy. Is Abby still there? Is Nikki still around? I think I would have heard if Nikki's not there anymore. Got to let me know what's going on, Jordan. I might have to start watching.
I don't get how a show like that stays on the air for so long.
Yo, that's wild, right?
There must be some type of money laundering going on there or something.
Every day, too.
Every day.
Like, they don't do reruns.
Victor Newman has been Victor Newman for like 40 years.
Dude, them shows don't go off, right? They don't have seasons. Like, they just air.
They just keep going.
How do you even film those?
I don't know.
Like, do people
do you
watch
have
that?
to record a show every day?
I'm assuming they probably do. They probably pick like 2 days out of the week and record 5 shows that day.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
soap operas.
I don't even know how
crazy.
they remember all the lines and everything. The actors and the actresses.
I thought we blocked Kimberly.
Oh my gosh! Phyllis faked her own death. Phyllis is sneaky.
Phyllis Vance? Vance Refrigeration?
No, Phyllis. Phyllis. She faked her own death. The redhead. Nick and Adam are fighting over Sally. Now, I don't know who Sally is.
Does anybody but Jordan and Casey know what the hell is going on right now?
Well, Jordan, this is you would appreciate this. I saw a video of oh man, see, I'm not gonna be able to say his name. I'm drawing
See, now that's a good tidbit right there. That's a good tidbit.
Oh yeah, for sure. Devon been on there for years, probably like 15 years. Yeah, he a mainstay. He a mainstay. Jack Abbott was in the stands in 2016 Game 7, Cavs Warriors. Somebody had a video of when they won, and they were like in the stands, lower bowl, and then they turn and they give a high five to somebody, and it's Jack Abbott. Like, yeah, let's go.
I don't know
who the hell is Jack Abbott.
Jordan knows.
Greg Abbott, the pitcher?
No,
I know him.
Jim Abbott was the pitcher.
Oh, Jim Abbott was the pitcher.
Yeah.
Who's Greg Abbott?
Maybe his bro.
Is Jim Abbott still with us? Did we lose him?
I think he's still with us.
Man, sometimes we be killing people off on this show, and I don't mean to. I remember watching him growing up.
Maybe,
yeah,
Jim Abbott. Maybe you meant Jack Swagger.
Jim's with us.
Talking about.
Jim's with us. Jack Swagger's not dead. He's in AEW.
No, I'm just saying maybe, that was on your mind. Jack Swagger.
They mentioned in the chat that Greg you're thinking of is the Texas governor. That's his name.
Oh,
Greg
God.
Abbott?
That checks out. Yeah, that checks out. There's another. I always feel bad for Dan Patrick, the radio show host, because there's a Dan Patrick, the politician. And apparently Dan Patrick, the politician, is he a piece of work. I think Dan Patrick, the politician, was the one who said during COVID, well, when talking about older people, like they've had a good life. If they got to go, they got to go.
Jeez, goodness gracious. What the hell?
Politics is a strange game.
They really say anything there. As long as you got your core.
You know what I realized this morning, too? Because I'm looking at this picture of Jim Abbott because I was concerned about him and wanted to make sure he was still alive. He's still alive. Jim Abbott reminds me of baseball cards when I used to collect baseball cards when I was younger. Every Friday morning, I play records in the house. That's the thing that I do. I DJ every Friday morning. I play records. It's a vibe. I realized today collecting records is like collecting baseball cards. You try to find a record in good condition, like low price. Like you don't want to go to like I stocked up the initial, handful of records from Amazon, right? The records that I wanted, relatively inexpensive, nothing hard to find, before going to like the local record stores, before meeting my man Dan, the record man. And I was I played Pebbles this morning, and when you buy records, they've got like a little grade on it. I was like, yo, I'm looking at my, Billy Ocean, Lionel Richie. I was like, they all got grades. I'm like, this is like collecting baseball cards. That's just what you look it up, and I don't know if there's a record Beckett out there, but you look it up, and that's how you go to shows, and they got this rare, Prince at the Apollo record or something. I'm gonna get that. Like, it's just like collecting baseball cards.
Huh? Interesting. Only records I don't even have them. Actually, my grandmother had them. Was Christmas records, because Christmas Eve, we got to play Motown Christmas.
Got to do
and
that.
Al Green Christmas.
Got to do that. Played Al Green this morning. Yep.
Yeah. So that's the only ones I got.
You know what the tough part about it is? Each side of the record holds about 20 minutes. So just when you're settling into something, you got to get up and flip the record over.
So let me ask you this. Maybe you would know, and this is I don't know, it could be common knowledge. I just always wondered, when there's DJs are scratching, back in the day, scratching vinyl, that doesn't mess up the record?
I would think so.
And so did they have to get a new record every time? Like after a set,
they had multiple.
They have to go get a new record?
Yeah, they had multiple records.
Oh, wow.
Well, no, you didn't have to do it after every set, because if you had a scratching record, that's the record you scratched with.
Gotcha.
But the scratch would often lead into the song, right?
Yeah.
And you would have two of the same record.
Gotcha.
And then a lot of those times, they're scratching one specific part. So, or they're scratching, going back to the very first episode of Corners of the Culture, they're scratching the break beat. They're hitting the break beat. So the break beat goes, and then you restart it. So that's the only part of the record you're using. So from, the start of the break to the end of the break is perfect. And you're scratching the part at the beginning.
You just can't use that.
I heard
you can't use that part.
Yeah,
because it'll always do that.
Well, yeah, you got to scratch that part.
But it'll.
Yeah, you gotta hit that part, and all it does is create like a.
So what I'm saying is, if at the DJ, if at his house he wanted to play that record that he was scratching, and not scratch,
doing that. Yeah, probably not doing that.
Wouldn't sound.
Yeah, that probably won't. You want to play James Brown in its entirety? Probably a bad idea if you're Grandmaster Flash.
Right.
The funny thing is, when you read about these old DJs, you read like their original mixes were just train wrecks. Like they didn't know how to match it yet, and they didn't know how to like monitor music and do the one headphone gimmick. They didn't know how to do any of that stuff. And I don't think it was Flash that did it. Maybe it was Grandmaster Flash that did it, but like some of the earlier DJs, like Hollywood and all of those guys, it was just kind of record into record, and it didn't have that sound to it yet. I'd love to hear some of those tapes. What the hell is this?
It tripped me out the first time I had like my neighbor, he got like a DJ, one of like the newer DJ things where you got a turntable, you got everything in there, you hook your headphones up, and it tripped me out how when the record was playing, you put the audio on the record in your headphone and you can hear it. Like I would always think, bro, they can't hear that in the club. Like, nah, like that's all you hear almost is that record. And it was tripped me out when I finally.
One of the last records I played this morning was Billy Ocean. And Caribbean Queen was playing. Like, and on the record, that joint, that's not the version you hear on the radio. Like on the record, it's like 8 minutes long. And it breaks down, and I'm listening to it, and I'm like, sounds exactly like Billie Jean. And then as I'm listening to it even more, it's like, yo, Billie Jean sounds exactly like a virgin. I challenge anyone to listen to Caribbean Queen, Like a Virgin, and Billie Jean, and tell me it's not the same. It's the same thing. Just
we got a homework assignment.
Slight little difference.
What's the Billy Ocean song again? Caribbean Queen.
Yeah. Originally, and I think he made a version. I think he made different versions for different countries, like African Queen, European. Originally, the song was European Queen.
Well,
to be fair, he's British, right? And the song's called European Queen. And I think it was the God Bless the record label were like, that's kind of weird. Like, it sounds like you're singing to Queen Elizabeth. So why don't we try something different? And that was where Caribbean Queen came from. And then it took off. And then he started doing all of the different versions for the different countries.
That reminds me of the Princess Diana.
Dirty
story.
Diana.
Yeah.
That Michael wasn't going to sing the record when she was in attendance at the show. But it turns out she loved the record.
Right.
And so he did it.
She's like, it's my favorite song.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Can your favorite radio show segue from Dirty Diana to Sacramento Kings basketball? We sure can. Kessler Edwards had himself a nice little game last night. Kings win, by the way.
Kings win.
93-80, 2-2 here on the season. Kessler Edwards with his best outing so far this season. 18 points. Anything stand out to you from a guy whose place on the roster's not in question? He's not a two-way player. He's going to be around. We're figuring out where to position him in terms of, a roster spot 10, 11, different things like that. Mm-hmm. Of course, Kobe Jones suffered a tough fall in the third quarter. I think it was landed pretty hard on his side. I think he just kind of lost his balance a little bit in the air going for a dunk. It looked like to me, it was trying to keep the defender off them with a forearm, and that actually kind of threw his in-air balance off, and and then he got stuffed by the rim, which happened a lot yesterday. At least 4 or 5 guys got stuffed at the rim yesterday. Yeah. And then he took that tough fall to the ground. I don't imagine he's going to play tomorrow. There's certainly no reason for him to play tomorrow. I don't know that the injury was serious. There wasn't much of an update past he's sore.
I thought I saw Luke Lout said Kobe was trying to get back into the game.
Okay. And you don't need to do that.
He said, no. So
matter of fact,
he didn't play yesterday. Home. Well, you might play
get on a flight and go home.
He might play tomorrow.
Of all the guys, like I'm good with Kobe.
Mm.
I'm good. Like I appreciate the way that he's played in this postseason. His role is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he can have a nice little. I think he can have a spot on this team. I don't think he's going to play a ton, but I don't really need to see anything from Kobe Jones. What I saw I already liked.
Yeah, I mean, I feel that way about all these guys.
Well,
really. I got an idea of
I got you.
Who they are, the good and the bad of it. But I understand your point, though. I mean, Kobe Jones is somebody that's he's going to be on the roster for sure. And it's somebody that's probably going to be involved in the rotation one way or another, whether it's consistently or whether it's sporadically. He's not going to go 82 games without playing. He's probably not going to go to the G League at any point. So, you want to play it safe with a guy like that and make sure there's no lingering effects to that tough fall.
Let Justin Mutz get some run.
That's my guy.
It is?
No.
Oh, Sharon Lewis.
I don't have a problem with
Dane
him.
Goodwin. Well, I just like. I mean, it's tough to get a DNP CD in a summer league game. Like, if tomorrow is in fact the last game, and who knows, let them guys get some run. I love the Kessler Edwards game yesterday. Didn't need to see the game. Really wanted to see the game from Kessler Edwards, and he thought he was great. Jordan Ford was really good again.
He was back-to-back solid games from him.
Yeah. Mike Daum did a lot.
Mike Daum was active.
He did a lot yesterday. Shot didn't drop the way that it had done in previous games, but
he was active.
He did a lot. Like again, I said this, a couple days ago. I don't know that that's for Sacramento, but like he's busting his ass. Like no one's gonna, question that. Like he's working.
And that's what I thought about too, watching that game. Like it's always kind of interesting to see like how that plays out. I don't know if a guy like Mike Daum is a NBA guy, so to speak. He's a little undersized, not the best athlete. He can shoot it, but he can play basketball. Like he's a good basketball player. And I think he's one of those guys that James tends to talk about, where he's like, he can go to the G League and probably never really get picked up, or you can go make a lot more money overseas for the next 10, 11 years. And I think that's going to be his destiny, to go overseas, play for a long time, be really good over there, and make a career that way. Because I don't know if he is an NBA guy, but like I said, he can play basketball. He's a good ball player.
Alex O'Connell's sort of a bucket.
Oh, he can shoot the rock.
He's sort of a bucket.
Rock.
He is not boring.
Nah, he can
at all.
He can shoot the rock, baby.
He's been fun to watch. I think he hit one yesterday and did the veins, did the ice water in his veins joint. He's again, his minutes have not been boring. His minutes have not been boring at all. I'm slightly distracted by what I just saw on television.
Uh-oh. What did you see?
They had win totals up there.
Oh, I saw something the other day about win totals. That was wild.
I thought that was Caesars that was up there. They have conference winner odds. Let's see how badly Sacramento's being disrespected here. So we got the Nuggets, Suns, Warriors, Lakers, Clippers, Mavericks, Grizzlies, Sacramento. Sacramento's
43?
above. One more time.
43.
I don't have the win totals. Like this
okay.
is something else. This is the odds to win the conference. They're ahead of the Pelicans, Timberwolves, and pretty much everyone else.
I saw something yesterday. It wasn't Caesars. I can't find one of the official
win total. Here it is.
But it was like 43 for the Kings. Last in the division.
Clicked on it. Like, let me see the damn win totals. What are we doing?
Trip.
Apparently, I'm too stupid to operate this website, and I can't find it. This is what I get for not being a gambler. I can't operate this damn website. MVP odds. They're going to keep that man up there no matter what.
Luka?
Jokic first, Giannis. Then Luka. Joe. Tatum. And then KD, Steph, Book, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
I had a conversation with my son yesterday.
I'm going to check this 6th man of the year just to see if Malik is anywhere in sight.
I had a conversation with my son last night about top 5 players. He said, "What'd you guys talk about today?" I said, "We spent a lot of time talking about top 5 players." I was like, "Who's your top 5?" And he goes, "Okay, well, Tatum."
Okay. Yeah, ain't no wrong with that.
Tatum, Steph, Joel, Giannis, and LeBron.
Okay.
I said, "What about Joker?" He's like, "Oh yeah, I forgot about Joker. I'm gonna have to get back to you about this."
It's tough. Like I feel like 6 was pretty easy. 5 was tough. 5 was tough.
By the way, found out this morning, today is National Reese Day. It's a real day. Celebrating everybody named Reese. It's a real day. July 14th.
So what are we supposed to do?
Well, one of the things they said is go get a Reese's Reese's Peanut Butter Cup. National Reese Day.
Okay.
Who knew?
Not me.
Not me either.
Not me.
Shout out to Cheryl in Baltimore who alerted us to that. We woke Reese up. We said, "Today's National Reese Day." And he turned over and went to sleep.
Oh. 43.5. The number you saw was looks like it was DraftKings.
Okay.
Nuggets at 54.5. Then you got the Celtics, the Bucks, the Suns at 51.5, Warriors at 49.5. Then you got the Cavs, the Lakers at 48.5, Mavericks at 45.5, Grizzlies 45.5, the Pelicans in Sacramento. Wow. Okay. Hold on now. The Pelicans, Sacramento, the Knicks, and the Timberwolves all at 43.5.
43.5 or 43 wins last year got you in the play-in.
So the Kings are a play-in team. Well, let's see here. We've got the Nuggets, the Suns, the Warriors, the Lakers, the Mavericks, the Grizzlies. The Kings are a play-in team.
Okay. It's all right. They did it all last year. Kings ended up with 3 seed. They were in the playoffs. Same thing probably happened this year.
Why do they do this? I get why they do it with the Lakers. It's fine. Why do they do this with the Pelicans?
I don't know. I have no idea. The funny thing,
at some point you just, I mean, and the Pelicans, to be fair, 43.5 wins was it was 42 last year. So it's not like they think they're incredible. But what's funny is we had Golden State around the 49, 50, 51 marker when we were talking about them the other day. And that's where, the DraftKings had them at 49.5. Suns 50+ women. And then, the Mavericks were the other one. They've got the Mavericks at about a +17 improvement next year.
The Mavericks going to be 17 games better next year. All right.
Thunder 42.5. What were the Thunder last year? 40.
So the Kings are going to regress.
The Kings are going to regress.
Everybody's going to improve, and the Kings are going to regress. That's what it looks like to me.
Where are the Clippers? Did I say the Clippers?
I don't think you did. They might not have them on the board. They may not.
Yeah, why? Yeah, you're right.
Because injuries, trade. They want to see what happens with James Harden.
Okay.
Stuff.
So that checks out because the 76ers, Trailblazers, Clippers, Heat, and Nets are all off the board. The Wizards right now, 25.5.
Damn.
That's the lowest in the league. They've got Charlotte at 31.5.
Right now, off the top of my head, Charlotte's better than Washington.
Charlotte, that's a +4.
Charlotte actually has decent players. LaMelo was hurt pretty much all year last year.
Yep.
They got Gordon Hayward. They got Terry Rozier.
They haven't dealt with PJ yet, have they?
They haven't dealt with PJ. PJ's there. Looks like they might be bringing back Miles Bridges.
They are bringing back Miles Bridges. I think that's signed.
Yeah.
But I think PJ might do what Miles did, although different circumstances, and sign that qualifying offer and be out next year.
Yeah.
That does not happen very often.
Right.
And again, completely different circumstances. I understand that. But it's going to happen twice on this team in the same year.
What is Mitch doing?
You can make a shirt and sell that in Charlotte. Yeah. What is Mitch?
But is that accurate though? They got everybody better than their win totals last year.
They're all pretty. The Sacramento's by far the biggest. Well, let's just take a look at a few. Like Milwaukee was 58 last year. That's how many they actually won. They have them at 52.
Okay. Boston
was 53. Boston was 57 last year. They have them at 53. The Nuggets were 53 last year. The book has them at 54.5.
And how much of a win improvement they got the Lakers at?
The Lakers are at 48.5 on the book.
They won
42. Well, I mean, the 5.5. They won 43. So they got them at a +5. Minnesota, they only have it a +1. New Orleans, they only have it a +1. Oklahoma City, they have as a +2. Golden State's a big one. That's a +5 also. Clippers are off the board.
That's okay. I mean, I understand that.
Suns are a +6. I don't know. I don't know about the Suns.
I definitely am not believing in the Suns. Not at all. As far as being some juggernaut or anything like that, I think they'll be cool, but I could see them being a 5 or 6 seed. Really could.
Phoenix.
Yeah, Phoenix.
Yeah, they were 4th last year at 45 and 37. Shoot, just those win totals alone. They were behind. Oh, they were just behind Denver. I think Denver. Yeah, they would be second. Got the Celtics winning the East again, though.
No.
I mean, when I look at,
I could see it.
Yeah,
I mean,
like-
I could see, as long as the Dame things come through.
Okay, we'll talk about that later. You talk about Miami right now. I do think Marcus Smart's loss is impactful. I know you hate him,
No,
but
that's the media again.
I think Marcus's loss is impactful.
Could be. It could be for sure. I'm not going to say they won't feel it in any way,
but
they may be able to overcome it.
But who's the glue now?
It's time for Tatum to step up. It's time for Tatum.
Go ahead.
You got Al Horford there.
Go.
He's another guy as well.
Go ahead, Lucky.
Don't call me Lucky.
Well, no, I'm like, who's?
It's Tatum and Brown's time now.
Tatum's not.
Wait, what do you mean? Like,
I don't think Tatum. I think Tatum is like. I think Tatum and Fox have like that kind of a similar characteristic in that way. I don't think like Marcus called them out 2 seasons ago. Publicly called his teammates out when they were sitting at 500 or just below 500 before their season turned around. Who's going to do that? Is Jalen going to do it? I don't think Jalen or Tatum.
I don't think they need someone to yell at them anymore.
I don't think Marcus yelled at them.
Well, I mean, like light a fire under their ass or whatever. Like, I think like it's just now it's just at a point where it's just Tatum and Brown have to take over and lead. I think Fox too. I think this year, like, I don't think he was that much louder or anything like that. It's just they got better. So now
you're equating it to volume. I'm not talking about volume. Like, who's going to talk to them?
They're grown men now. They've
been grown men.
They don't need talking to. They like at this point they shouldn't need talking to.
And I think Tatum and Brown
2 years ago they did.
Yeah, he was like 22, 23 years old. Maybe he did need talking to.
Yeah.
Right now, you 25. We are going to view a top 5 player in this game. You shouldn't have to have a Marcus Smart or anybody tell you it's time to get yourself together or you need to stop shooting a certain way or whatever. That's on you. It's akin to what people would talk about with Harrison Barnes and the locker room conversation. That's the Aaron's locker room now. That ain't here. I don't care if Harrison's here or not.
Harrison was ever having those conversations.
Yeah, because I was reading something the other day too, and it said like it was an article from Boston or whatever about how Tatum and Brown they kind of defer to Marcus like in those big moments or whatever. And it's like now it's like no, now you guys need to do it. Like that's where Boston is moving. Like now it's Tatum and Brown. Now they need to lead the way.
And I always thought that was a bit of a problem.
It's because you hate Marcus.
No, it's because Tatum. This should be your team. It's your squad. Like that game, I understand Miami was making sure Tatum didn't get the ball and all this other stuff. Man, hey, season on the line. Tatum need to get the ball. Think about that. Marcus Smart took that shot. It was a good look too, and he almost made it. It went in and out, but that's Tatum.
Well, that's
man.
no different than Harrison taking the shot, not De'Aaron. It's the same thing. It's the way the play went out.
We all wanted De'Aaron.
No, I understand that.
But De'Aaron made the decision, right? And Tatum never got in the spot to make a decision.
So who's that on?
I mean, in that particular case, I'm not going to put it. Because Spoelstra said, "Look, we're not going to let him touch the ball." So they were looking to double team or whatever. If I'm Tatum, I got to get the ball. I know he's not Michael Jordan. I'm not saying that, but they tried to double team Michael Jordan on that shot on Elo too. He got open and got the ball and cashed out.
What was the play call for that game? What was the play call for that shot?
Jordan with the shot on Elo.
That was the call. What was Doug Collins' call?
Oh no, that was a home game. It was get the ball to Michael and everybody get the bleep out the way.
You got to use your hands when you tell.
I wonder what game that was though, because I remember because Mike had the white jersey on. That was a home game. I need to figure that out.
Was that the? That was the same series.
It might have been the
same series.
So. Yeah, because they it's probably game 3
because he crushed the Cavs multiple times.
I think they lost game 4 and had.
I sneaky like the Jordan Wilkins one better.
Oh,
when he hits,
it didn't go down clean enough.
He hits the shot and then just
a little De'Aaron,
just hands up.
That was a good one.
Almost like, did you really think I wasn't going to crush you again? The Jordan stopper, Jordan Wilkins. We'll come back. I stumbled across a rumor involving the Pacers, and it's funny to like these two teams are really similar, the Pacers and Sacramento, and I'll explain why when dealing with Casey. By the way, DraftKings, no improvement for the Pacers. Had them at 35.5.
I think they're wrong with that too.
But
also, real quick, also that stuff is always to get action, right?
Oh, for sure.
It's always to get action.
For sure.
So that's what they're trying to do.
That's why I don't partake. Y'all ain't gonna get me. Steelo and Casey, brought to you by Sky River Casino here in Sacramento, sports leader ESPN 1320. Tatum better be an assassin this year.
Yeah, he should be. He's
I think you're feeling a certain way about Jason Tatum.
I love Jason Tatum.
feeling like Justin.
No, what it is I like Marcus Smart, and I feel like y'all are being too disrespectful to Marcus Smart.
I don't want to say that didn't get him nowhere, but didn't. It got him on the brink of elimination all the time. And then Tatum had to come and save him. like that's what it got him.
Okay.
I don't feel about Marcus the same way Kenny does.
Yeah,
Marcus was impactful and all that. You hate Marcus
You
Smart.
do hate Marcus Smart.
Yeah.
No, I think it's a little overblown. I just think it's a little overblown. Like he's a good ball player, but they're okay without him. They're not gonna fall apart without Marcus Smart.
I don't think they're going to fall apart, but I think to dismiss him is foolish.
With or without him, like it's still Eastern Conference Finals floor for them this season. Like that's the minimum for them.
And I agree, which
doing.
That's what I mean when I say we overstate Marcus Smart. Like the goal's still the same, the expectation's still the same. If you lose, and I know about nobody's saying Tatum and Brown or Marcus Smart is better than them, but if you lose one of those two, expectations change. You lose Marcus Smart, same thing.
So Steph out here, the most fascinating part about this video of Steph is he's just pouring shots for everybody. And of course, everybody's partaking, and I'm with it. But it's shots of like whiskey, right? Y'all out here shooting whiskey. It looks like it's really hot. That's not the drink you go for when you hot.
Yeah, that could be a situation.
But like I get it. I get it. Hey, Steph.
You ever gone to the Tahoe thing?
Never gone. No.
I heard it's a good time. I've never been. I'm not sure I'm sure at some point maybe I'll go, but I don't have to get out there.
Go with Sean Cunningham, man. I feel like Sean Cunningham got
He'd be everywhere.
VIP card. Oh, what's this clip of Chuck talking about Sacramento from a girl, Kristen?
Yeah, he was talking good, man. He was saying good stuff.
Let's get that on the screen. Let's get that up here. Hit the thumbs up while you're here. I've kind of been lagging on asking you guys to do that. If you could do that, that would be great. You hear I'm having a hard time finding her account. Did you hear R&B Justin is back?
No, I heard about the song. I haven't heard it. I got to check that out.
That's a great. I mean, it's already a great record. But he added a little extra to it.
Justin coming back in his R&B bag.
He was like, "Yeah, this country shit isn't working."
I don't know if we welcome you back.
Oh, knock it off. He's welcome back.
He just up and left.
If Coco says he can come back, he can come back.
Whatever Coco says is okay. That is true.
Let's check in with our girl Kirsten over at Fox 40. She talked to Charles Barkley. Here's what Charles Barkley had to say.
Brown did a tremendous job. Obviously he won Coach of the Year. I'm really happy for Sacramento because they got a great fan base, and the NBA is better when Sacramento is doing well. Coach Brown did a fabulous job. De'Aaron Fox was fantastic. Obviously, Sabonis, he got a new contract. But what Coach Brown is building there is fantastic. It's great for the NBA.
There you go. Shout out Fox 40. Shout out Charles Barkley.
Shout out Fox 40. Shout out Charles Barkley. But I just checked my Twitter feed, and it looks like we have a new member of the Sacramento Kings. I think you might want to play this too. There's a new member of the Sacramento Kings. Go to your mentions. It's there.
All right, dude.
Oh man, I gotta hear this.
Oh my. Oh, wait a minute. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Oh no, what is this? Hang on. We got it. What is happening in this video here?
Man, I didn't know y'all had. First of all, shout out to the Kings. You guys were flat out awesome this year. Mike Brown, Coach of the Year. You know, DeAndre was awesome. Sabonis was awesome. Murray's going to be a stud. They got something great. And it's great. The NBA is better when Sacramento does well.
Okay.
DeAndre.
Okay, let's run that back. Let's make sure.
You know, DeAndre was awesome.
Yeah, he said DeAndre.
DeAndre.
How much do you think Chuck had to drink?
Oh no, Chuck was sauced.
First of all, Chuck looks good.
Yeah,
he looks really good. Yeah. But he got the alcohol sweats, like you can see it.
No,
he was drinking Steph's. He was drinking Steph's bourbon out there.
Awesome, Sabonis was awesome. Murray's gonna be there. You know, DeAndre was awesome. Sabonis was awesome.
DeAndre.
DeAndre.
I think that was Dapper
awesome.
Right there. Shout out Dapper for that and KCRA.
Oh man.
All right. So and as you know, I think we got Terrence Harris, Keegan Bradley, and DeAndre
Fox.
Who do you think's getting added to that list this season? That's starting not that team now, I guess. Not
well, I mean, quota. We got quota on
quota.
Yeah.
Kobe will be on there, I'm sure.
Yeah, but like by who though? Like, because he's got to play.
He'll
Kobe,
play.
Yeah, is Kobe gonna play on the
Smith? Like Kobe Jones will have he'll have a good first half, and they'll go to the halftime. Yeah, Kobe Smith.
Well,
someone's gonna mess up Sasha's last name too.
Oh,
yeah, they're gonna mess up Sasha.
Oh, we forgot Kevin Lyles is
Kevin Lyles. Yeah.
Yo, who's better, the Kings or the fake Kings? Who's better?
That's a 7-game series. That's a 7-game series right there.
Yeah, remember
the Kings and the mispronounced Kings.
Remember when we hypothesized that 50 Cent thought Keegan's name was Alex?
When he said that Alex was his favorite player, and I don't think Alex Lynn had played a game yet, and he said it with hella confidence. That was probably the coldest part. He said it with super confidence.
And he was like, he described Keegan Murray.
Yeah.
And Alex like, yeah, I like that guy, Alex. You know, he just nothing seems to bother him. He doesn't really get phased. You know, he just does his work. You know, I like Alex.
51st, I want to ask you because you're here in Sacramento, Kings players, okay?
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite right now?
Yeah, I like Alex.
Oh.
He look at you like you don't even know why he scored.
Wait, Alex Len?
Yeah, his game is a little different.
So confused. Morgan is so confused. Like, wait, Alex Lynn?
See, I like Alex. You know, Alex, he look at you like he don't even know why
and
he
scored. Knew he had the perfect joke teed up and everything.
Right now.
Yeah, I like Alex.
Oh.
He look at you like you
look at Matt's look. Matt's like, bro, what?
I don't even know why he scored.
Wait, Alex Len?
Yeah, Matt's really thinking this through. Like, what is he talking about?
Yeah, his game is a little different. His demeanor, like it's not even his game is a little different.
Look at you get everyone is working through in their brain. What is 50 Cent talking about right now? Oh, that hey, I don't know what the top 25 games of that has to be a top 25 moment of the Kings season right there.
See, yeah, I like Alex. I like Alex. You know, he look at you like he don't even know why he's scoring on
I do
you.
love the way he said it though. The way he said it is marvelous.
Because you're here in Sacramento, Kings players, okay?
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite right now?
Yeah, I like Alex.
Oh.
He look at you like you don't even know.
Now I'm just watching Morgan's facial expressions like, I'm sorry, sir, what?
Why he scored?
Wait, Alex Len?
Yeah, his game is a little different.
And then look, Matt Barnes goes, yeah, it's different game. Yeah.
Different. He said his game. His Blake demeanor, like it's not
They're
even in
trying
it.
so hard to figure out what 50 Cent means. Oh, that is so good.
Hey, better basketball
like
analysis,
Alex.
50 Cent or Fat Joe?
What Fat Joe say?
I don't know.
Yeah, what'd he say? Kenny?
Yeah,
I
what'd he
forgot.
say? What Fat Joe say on the draft?
I don't know.
I just refresh everyone's memory. We know what 50 said.
I don't know. Kenny always brings it up, so I figure he remember the most.
What
I
did
don't
he
know,
say?
Man, I don't know, man. I'll just be watching basketball.
Okay.
Kenny, what did he say?
I don't know, man. Charlie knows. I don't know, man. I like Alex.
I bet you 50 like looked at Keegan Murray and he probably just thought this guy looks like an Alex to me, and he was just Alex from that point on.
Morgan said, Alex Len?
He said, yeah. His game, like his demeanor, his game different.
Yeah, he's
His
different.
game different. You know what I mean?
He's different.
Oh wait, come on.
What?
I don't know what
You
he
said Fat Joe.
Last time we played this, a 10-year-old called in. After,
Oh, that's
bro.
true. Bruce might be listening. All right. Bruce might be listening. All right.
Play it. The game is a game. Play it.
No. I mean, Bruce might be listening.
That's not our problem. Come on.
This was live on national television.
Come on, Joe.
I can't go against Wembanyama. He is what he is.
Yep.
But I tell you, I like Dick. Okay?
What?
Oh, Joey Crack. They put this. So here's what I can't figure out about all of this. I mean, there's actually a lot of things I can't figure out about this. But Joe is on the so Fat Joe sits down with Stephen A. Smith and Kevin Nagandi, and they say, let's ask Fat Joe who he likes in the draft.
He is what he is. Right. But I tell you, I like Dick. Okay?
What?
Great shit. And who was it? Kevin? Was it Kevin that got it?
What?
Grady Dick. Yep. Grady Dick can go.
You guys are getting fired for sure.
Oh no, man! Why he say?
Do you think they heard the show the first time we did this, and that's why we have that 4:00 meeting?
Possibly.
That was on ESPN television. What are we supposed to do?
Nothing we could do. Just reporting the news.
Why did he say it like that?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Fat Joe doesn't find this nearly as funny as we do either.
No, Fat Joe said, I don't play that. He said, I don't play that.
Can we just one more thing about Joey Crack? His
Joey
beard
Crack
is
the Don.
really uncomfortable to me.
You not feeling it?
No,
it's that Bronx, you know.
What? That's
hairspray.
paint. That's the stuff I put on my hair, right?
Yeah, man. It's fresh though. It's fresh.
It doesn't, but it's not. Is there any hair there?
I'm sure there's a little.
Can I do that?
I'm sure. Yeah,
Can I
you can do it
darken
right.
this up?
You can do it right now. Come back Monday, just like that. Like Joe, like
I'm gonna do it before our SR Prime dinner tomorrow.
Bada bing, bada boom.
I don't think you can Carlos Boozer the beard. Hair, you can get away with
Isn't
it.
that what Joe? Isn't that what Fat Joe has
looks
right there?
bad. That looks fake.
It does not look
You
good
can do
to
that.
me, but KC's hyping it up.
R.I.P. You could do it like Shorty Low. Shorty Low would have it like that. Shorty Low would have a little Beijing all on the beard. I think you could do it.
Is it a special? Is it
Like today would be a bad day because you do it and then like you might sweat it. And
yeah, I ain't
it'll
doing it
booze
before
you.
we. Yeah, we're gonna be.
But as
live
long as
at-
you have air conditioning, you can do it. Joey Crack.
I don't think we're doing that.
Don't do that. Don't do it.
This
Don't do
thing's
it.
getting cut before tomorrow night.
What?
We got a dinner at SR Prime tomorrow.
So what?
I'm cutting this.
The man, the peach fuzz is in the 5 o'clock. That's
I don't.
That's
This
that's
is
what's
not
hot.
5 o'clock.
That's the Brody Jenner. Brody Jenner used to do the 5 o'clock all the time.
This is like 18 days worth.
Give it till August 1st. Give it till August 1st. Get it cleaned up a little bit. August 1st, we'll see where we're at.
No, you'll be straight.
What's
You'll be
August
straight.
1st?
It's just the end of the month. By then, it's like at this point, we'll know if you can grow a beard or not.
You'll be straight. He can. Like you don't have no patchy or nothing. Like it's there. It's just taking time. He'll
I
get
feel
there.
like I picked a really poor time to look older.
What you mean?
Well, we're going to host a concert with like 24-year-olds today. And I'm like, you know what? This would be a really good
You
time
don't
to
look
make myself
old,
look.
though.
I'd look older.
You look older than 24, yes, but you don't look old.
All right.
It's not like
Look at Katrina out here talking about trust the process.
yeah,
What
trust
y'all
the
doing?
process. That's what you got to do. This time around, for me to get back full, it took like 3 weeks.
I'm at the not the last time we did TV, but the time before.
Mhm.
That was the last time I cut it. So that's at least we're approaching the 3rd week. Like,
And it looks fine. You line it up.
see, it looks good in person. It looks like weird on the camera.
No, it looks fine. That's what's hot right now. I ain't even lying to you. The like I can't do it. It don't look good on me when you have like the 5 o'clock. But that's hot right now.
But it's not 5 o'clock. It's just like 10 different colors.
Nobody can see no different.
It's distinguished. It's distinguished.
Trust the process, like she said. I wouldn't steer you wrong.
Yeah, if it looked bad, we tell you.
I know you would. Y'all treat me like Kenny treats Marcus Smart. You're listening to D-Lo and KC.
My man, Marcus Smart.
Right.
It's my man. I gotta love Marcus Smart, man. Don't do that. Don't
It's
do
D-Lo and KC. On KIFM West Sacramento, 98.5 FM, KRX QHD2 Sacramento, ESPN 1320. Always live on the free Odyssey app, live in visual form as well. Sleeves out, shoulders, guns out for KC. Shirt open here. We've got a concert to host tonight at Cesar Chavez Park. Eric Bellinger, come through. It's completely free. It's hot.
It's hot as hell.
But it's free.
Oh, I was thinking about this today. Well, maybe not for everybody. For a lot of people, though, all we need is for that sun to get over the library.
Yeah.
That's all we need. That should happen
Probably about 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock.
Yeah, it'd be fine.
I'm not gonna say it's gonna get cold. I'm just gonna say like
It's
at
not
least
gonna
you
get
won't
cold,
be
but we'll be fine.
getting beat down by the sun. Just
Yeah.
let that sun get over the library.
Yeah, I think we'll be just fine, man. It's going. And Eric Bellinger, he's got hits.
That
man.
Curious
He's
joint
got-
is going crazy.
He's
right
got some monster
Mhm,
records, man. He's a great performer, and the fact that he's here at the park for free,
now.
yeah, it's gonna be a good. It's gonna be a good evening out of downtown Sacramento, Cesar Chavez
Hey.
Park, man. Come through, hang out with us.
Good kid, Dad City said he's gonna be in the building, man.
Oh,
Pull
let's
up on
go,
us, man.
Booty Giuliani.
Now that
Let's go, Gavin Newsom. Let's get it in.
That's a wild one, Booty
Booty
Giuliani.
Giuliani. Good kid, Dad City. Let's go, baby. With that, I'm with that. I had stumbled across something regarding the Pacers saying I think the Pacers were looking for like a power forward. They were looking for someone at the forward position. Going back to the start of free agency, Harrison Barnes was linked to the Pacers, and the similarities between these two teams are pretty funny. It's because considering they've been trade partners 2 times over the last, year and some change,
Mhm.
there's a lot of similarities in their roster, and the Pacers are looking for a lot of the same type of players that Sacramento's looking for. Sacramento's further along
Mhm.
than Indiana is. I believe Indiana is going to be a good basketball team this year. I like Miles Turner. They don't have a Sabonis yet, though. And I think De'Aaron is better than Tyrese, but I do believe that Tyrese is really, really good. And that's part of the reason I think so highly of this team. They're looking for that one more guy to fit this together. But I just found it funny looking at their pursuit of players. It's like anytime you see, a player that Sacramento, maybe Sacramento could be in the mix for this, you'd see Indiana's name right after them because they were constantly all year long looking for the same type of players,
Yeah,
same
man.
type of roster additions.
I don't think, like, I disagree with DraftKings. I don't think Indiana's that far away. Going into last season, I thought they were going to be bad. They don't have a DeAndre.
Jordan Meeks is right. Pacers don't have a DeAndre.
I thought the Pacers were going to be terrible, but they showed a lot last year. Proved me wrong. They had a really good season when Tyrese was there.
around. Yeah.
And I don't think they're that far away. I think they need one more guy like you talked about. It's unclear whether or not Benedict Mathurin is that guy. He's a supreme scorer for sure.
Yeah.
But can he add some diversity to his game is going to be the question.
Is that a De'Aaron Tyrese problem again, though?
No, I think, to be honest with you, I think it's more of a Buddy Benedict Mathurin problem because they're both like legit two guards. Like they're not doing really anything else. They don't really defend anywhere else. Benedict Mathurin, like he gets his shots up. He shoots the ball over and over again. And that's what Buddy does. So
I know how a lot of people feel about this individual, but if things had gone a little different last year, would DeAndre Ayton make a lot of sense on that team? Now, I don't think he's not Sabonis, right? He's not the guy, but I do think DeAndre there is better than DeAndre in Phoenix, and I think he's not the next guy, but I feel like that would have been a hell of an addition to that team for them.
No, that would have been a good addition. They actually came across a bit of a revelation when they where they were playing what's my man's name? The big guy out of Maryland, Jalen Smith. I thought he played really well for him. So I say that to say he did well with that group with Tyrese and everything. I definitely think DeAndre Ayton would have done well with them as well. But maybe they look at it where, you know, we got Jalen Smith here, a young guy who's getting an opportunity to flourish here. We don't need to go out and spend a whole lot of money at that position. We want to make sure we get a small forward. And they did a good job with Aaron Nesmith. He had some moments last year too. So it's interesting to see where that one guy is going to come from.
Yeah.
They got Obi Toppin in that Knicks trade, so maybe he could be somebody.
Yeah.
I like Obi Toppin. I don't know how good he's going to be in this league. As far as like reaching a whole nother level. I don't know if he does that. He might just be a solid player for his career, but maybe that's a good gamble if I'm Indiana.
Obi Toppin gamble.
Yeah, I'd love to get Obi Toppin in there, get him with Tyrese and see what that looks like.
Yeah, I'm with that. Tyrese is a really skilled point guard. He's a really skilled pass first point guard. So finding a guy like he could be the next Chris Paul in terms of a point guard's relationship with a big man. You know, you look at the different guys that the Clint Capellas, the DeAndre Jordans, the DeAndre Aytons, all of the different guys that Chris Paul has played with. Like we saw what Tyrese did with Rashawn. He could be the next version of that relationship, which is why you talk about Benedict Mathurin taking that next step. I wonder if you could get someone in the front court somewhere that accentuates this again. Again, Miles Turner, very good. I like Miles Turner, but that's probably not the guy.
Maybe not. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not closing the door on Miles Turner being that guy just yet.
Okay. I won't close it.
Got your hand
shutting. Yeah, like I'm not again talking about being the guy. Yeah, I won't close the door, but you know, it's not wide open either. It's right
Fair
there.
enough.
And again, he's a guy who's going to wind up being a really good player he's a guy who has been a really good player with Tyrese. And that was a weird dynamic between the Pacers and Miles Turner all last year. Oh, Pacers going to trade Miles Turner. Pacers going to trade Miles Turner. Pacers are going to trade Miles Turner. Pacers extend Miles Turner.
Right.
What? All right. That's kind of a switch up there, but I'm with it.
Yeah.
I was reading this morning, no meaningful conversations have taken place between Portland and Miami. This from the Miami Herald. Take it a step further, at least the way the Miami Herald is reporting this. There hasn't been meaningful conversations between Portland and anybody. There have been conversations with Miami. There have been conversations with Brooklyn.
Yeah. I
can't really tell if there were actually conversations with Boston or not. But again, the way the Miami Herald framed it is these are all just cursory. There's been nothing substantial, meaningful. And I think I can call back to an Aaron Goodwin remark about he would really like Portland in Miami to sit down and have a honest discussion about getting a deal done, which that probably should have told us something right there. that conversation
Mhm.
has not happened.
Mhm.
And Aaron Goodwin's remark was probably a week ago, maybe a little over a week ago.
Yeah.
Here we are, July 14th. That still hasn't happened.
Right. I mean, and that's what's gonna need to happen. Like, whether it's initiated by Aaron Goodwin and Dame or the Heat or whatever, like, sit down and see if there's honestly something that can be brought to the table here
Mhm.
and work out for everybody involved. It's not lowball Portland. If
Yeah.
I'm Aaron Goodwin, I'm saying, look, guys, I'm not saying overspend, but don't lowball these guys right now. If you really want Dame here, pay a real price to get him here. In Portland, don't try and hold them up or hold the process up. Negotiate fairly here. I kind of hope that happens, like, and hope it happens where, like, they both come to a resolution or a decision or an understanding. Like, maybe they had a real honest conversation and Portland's like, man, you guys just don't have enough. Or Miami's like, we don't have enough that we're willing to give. I don't think we can do this right now. And then they can go their separate ways and try to figure something out, whether Miami tries to find a third team or Portland looks for a completely different trade partner. But all this, I learned this a lot from watching boxing, watching Al Heyman. Negotiating in public never is a good thing.
So I don't know if you were going to elaborate on that, but can I point out one thing that I found very funny? The Miami Herald. What I just told you came from the Miami Herald today. Yesterday, this is called the Oregonian.
Sounds right.
They reported that a deal is close. And I think they had Tyler Hero, multiple first-round picks. And it's like, this is a circus. So you have the home newspaper of the Portland Trailblazers saying they're close to something. You have the home newspaper of the Miami Heat saying they haven't even had meaningful discussions yet. And it's now like, all right, I guess we've exhausted Chris Haynes and Shams Charania and Adrian Wojnarowski. Let's just go the local route and see if we can negotiate this deal through our freaking newspapers.
So the funny thing about this, and let's just say I was watching Tyler Hero the other day. I feel like,
was he working out with Ben Simmons?
No,
Oh.
no, not in this situation.
Okay.
I feel like people are kind of underrating Tyler Hero. And I think the people in Portland and the people, Blazers fans and everybody, like, we don't want Tyler Hero. You guys know I love Shaedon Sharpe. I think the world of him. I think he's going to be super nice. Am I 100% certain that Shaedon Sharpe is going to be a better player than Tyler Hero? No, I'm not. Tyler Hero can go. And I say all that to say right now, Tyler Hero would be their starting two guard. He'd be the best guard they have right now. And he's like 22, 23 max.
I understand.
And if you're worried about the logjam, Shaedon doesn't have to start yet. Shaedon's like 19, 20 years old. He doesn't have to start. He doesn't play good enough defense just yet. Like, he's still learning his way as an NBA player. He doesn't have to start. You can bring him off the bench, let him ease his way into this NBA life as far as being a big-time scorer. Let him ease his way into it this year. We talked yesterday for 30 minutes about how much we like Malik Monk. Malik Monk's super talented. He doesn't have to start.
Yeah.
Like, you could do that with Shaedon and have Tyler Hero as your starting two guard.
What is there? What's Portland trying to do then?
They're trying to they want to, like, fit this whole roster right now. They want, like, a big, like a center.
Okay.
So the offense, so school.
But what I mean is, I'm sorry, that was a poorly worded question. Do you think they're trying to compete or tear it apart?
Well, I think moving Dame is tearing it apart. So
I feel like they're trying to do both, and that might be the problem.
That sounds like a problem.
Okay. We'll come back. We'll talk more about this. Is this live?
Yeah, I was thinking that too. That's kind of
is the WNBA 3-point contest on right now at 1 o'clock?
Everything's on right now. It's a fail. That's a fail. There's nothing going on Friday night. I don't know why it's not going on.
Yo, this is terrible.
Yeah.
I'm looking up at this and I'm agitated as we're talking. Like, did I miss this last night? I'm on the WNBA website. No, I didn't. This is live right now. They're airing the 3-point contest, or the skills competition is on right now.
But the All Star
festivities
Saturday
are all
night or whatever is right
they're
now.
right now.
That's
It's 1:13.
That's terrible.
We'll come back.
They actually have a decent crowd there, but still, it's the TV audience.
Hey. I think Paul Pierce said something I agree with.
Oh my gosh.
And it ties into this conversation we just had. Can't believe I just said it either. We'll talk about it when D'Lo and Casey return here on Sacramento Sports Leader, ESPN 1320. I think I
would have wanted to go on to that. They should have it in Vegas all the time.
Yeah, they absolutely should. Do you want? I'm gonna grab my juice. Do you want?
I'm good right now. I'm good. Yeah, that's not okay.
Why not just do it tonight?
I don't know. Maybe they probably gotta broadcast these summer league games.
Well, then someone slipped up bad then.
I think no, because the Kings were on NBA TV. They could have not had the summer league on ESPN tonight, like on both channels. They could have thrown. They got like a Grizzlies Lakers game. They could have thrown that to ESPN 2. Yeah, that's whack.
Yo, why is your girl Kim so stingy with everything? She won't buy us drinks tonight.
I haven't activated mine. Real quick, we're gonna.
I need to mute the mics. As our termination meeting is over, we'll be out there.
It'll be Kim before you guys. Oh, hey, Kim.
That's our man Complex right there. Oh, we've got an injury. Kyle got injured at the wedding he was dancing at last night. The song he got injured to, blow the whistle.
I was just about to say, blow the whistle. See, that's the problem with Bay Area dancing, though. That's why I don't like. They've been moving too much.
Get stupid. Get stupid. Oh, man.
But, okay, well, here's the thing, Chris. If they're going to rebuild, and the question is why bring back Hero, then why bring back anybody? Like, just take all the picks if you don't care about a player.
That's what – so that's kind of the point that I was getting at is I would rather, like, bring back someone like Tyler Hero to – Don't Oklahoma City this thing. You don't have to. You already have really good young talent on the roster. And if you're looking for draft picks, you're trading with the wrong team.
Right.
Like how many Miami's missed the playoffs like twice? 3 times in like the last 15 years. Give me a break.
And I'd rather take the player. Give me the player. Give me I think people yeah.
Well, I think you were going to say people undervalue Tyler Hero. I was about to say people overvalue draft picks.
No, that's for sure.
People get so excited about a draft pick number.
I don't care about no draft picks.
Chris Cook asked if Portland's going to rebuild, why bring back Hero? And that was kind of the point we were getting to is like, what is Portland trying to accomplish in doing this deal? And Joe Cronin will keep saying, we want to operate as if Dame's here. We want to operate as if Dame's here. Buddy, you probably got to get off of that mentality.
Right.
It's not going to work. I don't think it's working for Philadelphia. It's not working for you. James Harden just told someone yesterday to tell everyone he still wants out of Philadelphia. His feelings are hurt by the way his buddy Daryl Morey treated him.
Oh my gosh.
So, because remember,
guy.
he took a massive pay cut
This dude,
and only made $33 million last year.
This guy, he's something else, bro.
He really is.
He's something else, man. I don't know what he be doing, man.
The thing with I feel like Portland is trying to. I think you used this line the other day, the 2 timeline thing. They're trying to walk 2 tightropes here, and it's like, okay, we've got Shaden and we got Scoot. Okay, that's core right there. We got Anthony Simons. We're probably moving him. We've got this Nurkic contract. It's not death, but we have it. Man, if we could get someone in that front court, boy. Well, we got a really good shooting guard. Don't want that. Just give us some picks. Well, wait a minute. If you want the front court player, why wouldn't you want Tyler Hero?
I don't know. And like I said, I think their thought is you got Shaden Sharp, and you still have to figure out what you're doing with Anthony and all this. So there's a log jam in the backcourt. But like I said, Shaden don't have to start.
I think they messed up not moving Anthony Simons at the trade deadline.
So
I think they
like
tried. I think they tried. If I remember correctly, they tried. But now it feels like a big mistake.
Yeah, it certainly looks like it. Certainly looks like it, man. And I don't know what that looks like if they're gonna have to attach him in a Dame deal. If Miami's gonna have to take him or Nurkic. That's the one thing I said in the past is like maybe Portland's like, look, man, you got to take one of these 2 guys. We're not gonna say take both of them, but you got to take one of them.
Yeah.
And if I was Miami, I'd probably look to take Anthony. He's a young dude. He's skilled. He can come off your bench and give you production. I would take that contract as well. But then Miami's probably like, all right, well, if you do that, then you got to take Duncan Robinson.
Well, so that's the other thing I read is that Duncan Robinson is a part of these trade discussions. The holdup could be Portland going, we all hear about Tyler Hero. They could be like, we don't want Duncan Robinson. What are we going to do with that?
Yeah.
Paul Pierce was on with our guys, Cameron and Mace.
Oh yeah, my boys.
They were talking about Dame. They were talking about Dame to Miami, and Paul Pierce said, "You got that Miami team that just kind of ran to the finals. You're going to strip all its depth, put Dame in there. That team ain't making it out of the first round."
Okay, settle down, Paul.
Now, I asked weeks ago when this all started, are we sure this elevates Miami? Only because we're all in agreement Miami overachieved. Only because we eliminated Miami virtually every round of the playoffs. Round after round after round till they finally got to the finals and we were like, hey, maybe we should stop this. And you're losing Tyler Hero, who wasn't even a part of the playoff run. You're probably losing a handful of other guys that might have been, contributors to this run. But you're inserting Dame. And while being eliminated in the first round might be a bit drastic,
it is.
I actually get Paul Pierce's point. I understand what Paul Pierce is saying. I can't believe I'm saying it either. I understand what Paul Pierce is saying. I'm not buying stock. I'll say this. I'm not buying stock in the Miami Heat.
So here's where you and Paul are a little misguided. Who are they giving up in that trade that got them to the finals?
So let's eliminate all of that, right? So first of all, let's not eliminate the those guys contributed to the regular season. And that's an important part of this, right? But my thing falls less with Tyler Hero. My thing falls less with the depth of the Miami Heat and falls more on what exactly did we see from the Heat last year? Like, are we collectively, because I don't think I am, are we collectively sold on what we saw last year? That's the Heat.
What?
The run to the finals.
I don't know if we're sold on that. I think so.
So what I'm saying is I'm not sold that what we saw from the Miami Heat last year, that run to the finals, is really what the Miami Heat are.
Yeah.
So for me, doing whatever you have to do to get Dame here doesn't, oh my God, they're winning a championship this year, or oh my God, they're back at the top of the East. I don't feel that way at all.
I'm looking at this in a completely different, the same way, but then we go left. You go right, I go left.
That usually happens.
What happened in the finals is not the Heat. Who the Heat are, is what we saw in the regular season, and that ain't good enough. You've got to get better, and they're going to go out and get Dame and get better.
Okay, fine. How much better?
The team, but good enough to get out of the first round for sure. I think.
Shout out Paul Pierce.
I think that if they got Dame Lillard, and just for sake of argument, say they brought back Anthony Simons too, I think that's enough to get to with Jimmy and Bam.
Mm-hmm.
That's enough to be a conference finals team. Whereas if you didn't do this, you're not making this run again.
I don't
think
disagree with that.
That's
at all.
what Paul's saying. It's
Yeah.
like this team just went to the finals and you want to break. Like they're not going back.
Yeah, they're
The team's
definitely
not
not.
going back.
Yeah, they're definitely not.
I think with the Heat, I think their biggest issue was because before the playoffs even started, I was telling you guys, watch out for the Heat or whatever. I didn't really
You
sleep
did.
on them too
Yeah,
much.
you really did.
I think the biggest issue was Jimmy's not a guy who can lead you for the 82 games during the regular season. I think he's gotten older. His game's dipped a bit. He can't handle that load or whatever. Damian Lillard, he can come in there and he can carry for those 82 games. And then once they get to the playoffs, Jimmy's going to step up or whatever because that's what his game's more built for. And I don't think they're really losing depth either because I don't think they're sending Caleb Martin in that trade. So you still got him off the bench.
And that could be a hang-up for Portland.
It could be.
Like,
and that's something I would try to finagle. Although you just spend $7 trillion on Jeremy Grant, like you're not going to bench
$8
him.
trillion.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah,
Shortchange.
Yeah, don't shortchange him.
My mistake. But if I was, this is the negotiation, right? If I was
Jesus,
Miami,
Las Vegas even won this.
They did easy too.
It is so stupid that this is on right now. I'm so
like 15
agitated.
seconds.
My goodness.
They beat New York. Same thing's gonna happen in the playoffs.
Like Vegas is losing nothing all year. And how did they get that car out there? There's a car at center court. It's a small car, but how did they get that out there?
It's a good question. I don't know. Can they put a car in the Golden One Center? I'm trying to think of
I'm
where
sure they could.
Yeah.
I just don't know how.
I don't know either.
Kendra, if you're listening, how can you put a car in the Golden One?
Because I'm thinking.
Well, you get monster trucks there, right?
Oh, yeah, this is true. Yeah,
Well, I don't know.
obviously you
Does
can.
Golden One Center do I think they do the monster
Yeah,
trucks.
absolutely. I was
though.
gonna go one time.
I don't know. I mean, obviously something. I don't know. It would have
But
been,
thi-
that would have been
but,
an ultimate pause moment if I said what was in my head.
Oh,
But
what were you gonna say?
I ain't gonna. Well, I ain't gonna say it. It's just obviously there's some way to get it there.
What?
There. Stop it.
Said are you gonna say?
I'm not.
What, you too cool to say it or what?
I just said it. There's obviously some way that something moves to get a car out there. Grow up.
But this is a older Mandalay Bay, so if they can do it, the Golden One Center absolutely can do it.
Well, like I said, they have monster. I want to watch the transformation of an arena one time. Not the floor, but like what moves that you can drive. Massive cars, or in this
I'm
case,
sure you could YouTube it.
a Kia. They just got a Kia out there at Center Court, of course, because Kia
and
sponsors everything.
and that car being there was pretty ridiculous.
What is
Like it wasn't even like make a move past the car.
No.
Nothing. It was just, it's in the way.
This is All Star Friday afternoon. This is really upsetting.
So we're trying to figure out why this is on, and it's because they have these summer league games tonight. And I was like, yo, bump one of them joints to
I'm
ESPN
sorry,
2.
the WNBA is getting bumped for summer league
That's
games.
what it looks like to me. It's not baseball. It's not football. It's not hockey. The Grizzlies and Lakers are playing.
I'm sorry,
at 8
Victor
o'clock.
Wembanyama, Brandon Miller playing tonight.
No, they're doing this for
It's-
Frankie Ferrari.
Well, shout out Frankie Ferrari, but it's
no disrespect.
We're 7 days into summer league. Note to the NBA: people stopped caring 5 days ago.
People left town.
That's right, they're gone. Send me a video of Harry Giles' workout. I'm getting out of Vegas.
Yeah, that's a bad job. I'm very disappointed to see that.
Well, coming up next, an All-Star Friday afternoon, the three-point contest. Did they at least put the WNBA logo on the sphere?
Oh, this gets even worse. I don't think so, but this really does get even worse. ESPN, you should be ashamed of yourself. So on ESPN, it's Summer League. On the Deuce, cornhole. From 4
So maybe it's
to 6.
This is dumb. I don't know what it is, but this is dumb. What a monster. Just what
and then the other thing that I think
Isn't
about
the All-Star game on at like 10 a.m.?
No, I actually got it at the right time. It's on prime
They
time.
fixed it.
Are they going to top it off with that tiny ass trophy again?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I hope not. That was like a medallion.
That was embarrassing. That's what that was. That was embarrassing. That was Kelsey
Why-
Plum would have handed that back.
Why are these people like this that run the league? Like, why are they Rob Manfred like in their inability to understand?
They run it like it's
I've seen AAU tournaments ran better than this.
they run the people who have run the WNBA run it like it's a mom and pop store. Like it's just a little spot on the corner that you can go grab milk and donuts at. That's the way they treat it.
Jeez.
Dumb, man.
Now, the other thing that I think about, which is wrong, like it shouldn't, like just don't worry about it. Like do what you're supposed to do. Is maybe they don't want conflicting things, right? Like WNBA All Star Friday night and a summer league game. They want you to be able to go to all the events, but forget that.
That's fine. You can put who'd you say it's the Wizards and the Grizzlies?
It's Dallas and who is this? It doesn't matter. Dallas and Indiana.
You could put them on now.
They
They could play basketball right now.
Yeah.
They would have the same amount of people right now than they will at 7:00 tonight or 5:00. Is it Steven? Is that who's on the line? Let's get Steven here. 916-909-1320. What's up, Steven? Appreciate your call.
Hey, what's going on, fellas? How we doing?
We good, big dog. How you doing, man?
Good. Hey, so now that we are at this point of off season, I wanted to see if you guys could help me out with some of my random Kings thoughts that I've been kind of going over. So one of the things that I feel like was magic for us this year, right, was the fact that we not only had the clutch player of the year, but that's when our offense was just deadly. It was at its most efficient place. And it had a lot to do with De'Aaron Fox, of course, just taking his aggression level to just another level. And that's what we are, I think, all hoping that we can start seeing more for 4 quarters than him just turning up like that in the fourth and everything. There's a few things that I was kind of peeping throughout the season that I was hoping to see more of, and wanted to see if you guys kind of saw the same thing. De'Aaron Fox, to me, has a sneaky post game about him that when he would get a smaller guy on him, or just even, just situations where he could get in that 10 to 12 foot zone and get his back to the basket, his turnaround jumper was, you don't compare people to MJ, but it was sick like that. And it was really something I felt like in the clutch could be something we could use. And my worry with the Kings, the only thing I have worry about, it's not really a worry, but a concern, is we have to be more creative, I think, getting Fox in the spots in the fourth quarter with everybody kind of knowing who he is now. For I think the first maybe even 60 games of the year, he could just kind of just run and do whatever. But you saw people starting to change on that, and everybody's trying to get the ball out of his hands constantly, right?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that's Jay Triano's job, and that's Mike Brown's job. And I do think they can scheme for whatever they want, but I don't think you're going to see any more intense scheming by other teams in the clutch or throughout the game than what he saw from the Warriors in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And he was able to handle that just fine. So I know Steven's not saying he can't handle it, but he just, wants to have some diversity in how he
put him in the best position.
Exactly.
Possible.
But I wouldn't be worried about that. I mean, he's one of those guys. You can't scheme against a De'Aaron Fox. He's one of those guys, and if the jump shot is falling, it's lights out for whoever the opponent is.
Uncle Looney asking if Sacramento Kings still have Terrence Davis. We do not, but I don't believe Terrence has signed anywhere.
He's not signed anywhere, but Chris Duarte just got number 3 yesterday. Doesn't make anything official.
Sensational.
It's kind of rude. I'm giving him a different number.
My girl Dejanay's in the 3-point contest.
We'll talk to James Ham about this when he joins us at the top of the 3 o'clock hour. But there's a report: Sasha Vezenkov's 3-year, $20 million deal with the Sacramento Kings is fully guaranteed the first 2 years, includes a team option in that 25-26 season. So I think that's a bit of a revelation that we weren't clear on. Also, Jason Anderson, I believe, reported last night as Sasha's deal showed up on the transaction report. It's not really official until they receive their letter of clearance from the overseas team. So it's official, it's done. And I remember James telling us that Sasha had not signed his contract when he was here in Sacramento or in Las Vegas. And they were waiting to do that until they got everything squared away with his team in Europe. It sounds like that stuff is done. Once the letter of clearance comes in, it's official. Right now, I think it's official. We need the letter of clearance for it to be official.
Yeah, it makes sense.
But interesting note there on the third-year team option for the Sacramento Kings and Sasha. Darvin Ham spoke to our buddy Chris Haynes and Mark Stein recently on their This League podcast. Said Austin Reeves is going to be an all-star at some point. You agree?
No, I don't. I like Austin Reeves a lot. I think he can play. I think he can ball. I do not see all-star when I see Austin Reeves.
Sometimes we talk about that all-star position like it's easy to get, man.
Yeah,
That's a tough accolade.
De'Aaron Fox had to scratch and claw to get an all-star berth. And Austin Reeves, and he was averaging 25 points a game. Austin Reeves is going, average 27?
Well, he's a Laker. He could be a starter the way the fans are.
Well, take it away from these people.
Yeah, I don't disagree with
I was
that.
going to say these fans, but some of them.
Well, it's weighted now. I mean, it's weighted. It's different. It's not like it used to be. It's like
take the weight off. Lower the weight.
The NBA is like, nah, we're not doing this. We're not doing this.
Like I said, I was going to say fans, but it ain't even always fans that vote. It's just people just doing stuff.
Shoot, I'm convinced they got bots doing all-star voting.
I'm sure they do.
You think Keegan will be an all-star? Again, we're throwing around the all-star accolade like it's easy, but we're all, I think, in agreement that Keegan is. We ask who's the third man. I think it's Keegan.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if Keegan. I sincerely don't know, because if he progresses the way a lot of people think he will, then yes. Me personally, I just need to see it. I need to see it before I say, yeah, for sure he's going to do it. And when I say I need to see it, that doesn't even mean like I need to see him be an all-star. I need to see his progression, like get to a level where I'm like, oh, for sure this dude's an all-star. And then, whatever happens after that happens, if he gets voted on or if he's a reserve or whatever, it's really out of his control. I just want to see him be an all-star caliber player.
I'm saying it's Twitch here. I mean, David here on Twitch says Wiggins K-pop fans vote. I remember I think it was our man, I think it was the local guy tweeted something around the De'Aaron, around the All-Star run centering on De'Aaron Fox and K-pop, trying to get, K-pop Nation behind voting for De'Aaron Fox. Like, De'Aaron's a big fan of da. And if you know the local guy, like everything he does is tongue in cheek, right?
Yeah.
I think Mark quoted it. Mark got Chatty House and quoted it during one of the games. Kind of spectacular, kind of not. Leads me to the Kevin Durant story. Did you see KD? There was a quote attributed to Kevin Durant talking about I'm 7 foot, I'm scaled, blah, 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 blah. My only weakness is injuries.
Mhm.
And I think the numbers this morning were like the tweet had been seen 5 million times, been retweeted, quote tweeted, responded to. It wasn't real. The quote wasn't real.
What KD said wasn't real.
No, the quote attributed to Kevin Durant was not
That's what I'm
real.
saying.
He didn't say it.
Yeah. Exactly.
And the website, and this goes back to the conversation we were having about Twitter the other day. The account was, there's the NBA Central account.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this was the NBA, and it it juxtaposed like the last 2 letters, so it didn't say Central. It said something else, but it looked like that.
Mm-hmm.
They pay their $14 or whatever it is for their blue check mark. No one looked, and that's how it got so much traction.
That's crazy.
And KD was like, "Yeah, dude, this isn't real." And I think I don't even think he said this isn't real. I think he just responded like, "Dude, we're getting in a really dangerous place."
Mm.
And that goes back to what we were talking about last week about threads, where this is the problem with Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Check that. It's a problem with Twitter. This is the problem with people.
Yeah.
Y'all aren't checking. The account, NBA Central, has I don't know if it's millions of followers. They have a lot of followers.
Mm-hmm.
This account has 7,000. And the people who follow that account just can't spell. And they stumbled upon this one. They saw the blue check mark, and that's what they thought was right. Now, I'm not going to be overly critical of this current version of Twitter, because this happened under the old regime as well.
Right.
People would get fooled by fake Woj accounts. They get fooled by fake Shams accounts. It was a little bit easier to spot back then. Now it's damn near impossible to spot these fake accounts.
It's a wild, wild west, man.
And you have these quotes attributed to people who didn't say them. That's
it's tough, man. It's a dangerous time
tough.
for sure. Like KD said, man, it's a dangerous time because you see it a lot during trade deadline and free agency. Once again, somebody will switch a letter.
DeMar DeRozan signs with the Clippers.
Yeah, got your boy, man. That was tough. But they'll, instead of a blue check mark, it'll be a 8 ball or something something.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you just got to be extra careful.
I mean, Stephen Brown, that's a hell of a line right there. 6'5", 245. Stephen Brown says, people love lies more than the truth.
Yeah, what they say,
they ain't wrong.
Tell the truth,
that brother
when the lies are more entertaining.
That's it.
That's how it is sometimes.
Don't let the truth get in the way of a good story.
Yeah.
It's a damn shame, man.
Be careful out there, guys. Trust me. I know.
It's really just a matter of clicking. Click. Oh, that ain't real.
Or just taking a look. Sometimes you can tell, if you look at the name, what's off is obvious. They're never spelled the same. So you look and Central with 2 L's or something. Oh, okay.
Yeah, but have you ever, I have a really difficult time, partly because I'm an idiot, but I have a really difficult time proofreading stuff I wrote.
Yeah.
Because I know what I wrote.
Yeah.
And so when I go back to read it, I'm reading what I know I wrote,
right,
and not what's actually on the paper.
Damn, and then it starts doing numbers, and you can't
fix it. You can't fix it. And
doesn't Blue have an edit situation now?
I believe so, but we had one of Leezy's reels did well. It's a freaking typo on it. I was like, well, I'm not deleting it. Freaking knew what I meant. I had an IG story with Pebbles playing this morning. They had a typo on it.
Most frustrating thing ever.
Stupid, man.
Hey!
I was listening to Pebbles. I was vibing this morning. Y'all, some of y'all get fooled by this sports talk stuff. I think we're going to have to remind some people of some things.
Let them know what time it is.
It's 1:43.
Pebbles did TLC dirty. That was sad.
Hold
to
up.
see.
What would Pebbles do to TLC?
What everybody in the music industry does to new artists.
She froze them out?
I mean, took their money and didn't give it's a
Oh, that was
story.
her label?
She was
She was with Babyface.
yeah, the face.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
she was
No, she was with Babyface. Yeah.
And she it's all in their little movie. She did them dog.
I never watched those.
That was a good one.
Was
that
it?
was a good one.
I
TLC was
don't-
good with Keke Palmer, Lil Mama, and I forgot the other actress who did T-Boz.
We'll come back. Zion Williamson, in a very brief appearance on Gilbert Arenas' podcast, spoke about his dieting issues. Those comments weren't received well, but I was like, damn, you either want him to say what makes you happy or you want him to be honest. I thought he was honest. And we'll start the countdown. The top 25 games of the Kings season. That begins Monday. We've got the honorable mentions coming up today, plus James Ham at the top of the 3 o'clock hour. That's all ahead here on D'Lo and KC, brought to you by Sky River Casino and Sacramento Sports Leader, ESPN 1320. That's fine.
Yeah.
Joey Crack.
I don't think my girl Dejanay is gonna make it.
I always leave out the part from Kansas. Like it's a very specific type from Kansas. I know we probably tell Eric goes on stage. Yeah, because we're
pulling up.
Jesse's like, I don't like y'all that much. Was that a Sprite ball or what is it called? Starry?
Mm-hmm. Now, it doesn't help the TV audience much, but they do have a good crowd in there.
Yeah, it doesn't look bad at all. I mean, it doesn't look bad. That scoreboard's pretty dope, though.
It is. Yeah. I got Jackie Young in it. That's Jackie, right? Yeah, she's winning. Sabrina might get her. My pick is Jackie.
Sabrina, cover girl for is it 2K?
Yeah, that sounds right. Sounds right. Is this as a win on the line on my standings here? I pick Jackie Young to win.
Oh, you just trying to add wins to your total?
What's
What are
going
you
on
talking
here?
about?
I'm looking at a situation where it could happen.
These are pocket watch standings only.
Kenny's so desperate to get back to 500. Girlfriend.
There's a question for Jesse in the chat from Dr. David.
I'll just go by Lucky from now on. I'll lean into it. KP's going to do fine, though.
Lil Baby canceled his Sacramento show. He canceled a bunch of shows.
And we're selling well? 916-909-1320 if you want to hit us on the phone lines, or you could jump in, hang out with the Chatty House on 1320 TV. That's available on Twitch, YouTube, Twitter and Facebook. James Ham coming up at the top of the 3 o'clock hour. Plenty to talk to him about. Plus, we will give you the honorable mentions for the top 25 games of the Kings season. That countdown begins on Monday with game number 25. But we got the games that just barely missed the cut. So we'll have that coming up for you in just a few minutes. Again, 916-909-1320 if you want to get in on the phone lines. Marty on the line, 916-909-1320. Maddie, what's good, baby?
Marty.
No, Maddie, what's up, baby?
What's up, big homies?
What's good with you, bro?
Hey, man. I was a little behind on the show, and I heard that intro. Y'all have me hyperventilating, man.
Don't ever take us seriously,
fun,
man.
Just having a little fun, man. That's how we here. We ain't going nowhere, baby.
Yeah, y'all know we don't got too many options around here.
Well,
I really wasn't trying to listen to is a hot dog a sandwich for 4 hours over on that other station.
That's right. Judging by the ratings we got yesterday, nobody listens to that. So we appreciate you. We got you. Hey, I know we have our fun. We're going places, but we ain't going nowhere. We here.
Big purr. All right. Hey, man. So I want to talk about the Niners a little bit. How many seasons y'all think we're away from Kyle Shanahan being in that Philadelphia Eagles Andy Reid territory? That's why I want to pose that question to you guys.
I would say probably 2 or 3 seasons.
That's a good one.
You know, I mean, he's been there 6 seasons right now. This is the 6th season coming up. Or has he been there 6?
Sure, he missed he was a disaster his first year.
Missed his second year.
Yep.
I think the second year was Jimmy's. Yeah, that was Jimmy got hurt.
Yeah.
Third year he goes to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
4th year was COVID in a disaster season. Although I talked about
COVID didn't really relate to football.
No, well,
what did COVID do to football?
Nothing really. They talked about how being in empty stadiums was where Niners had to leave San Francisco.
Oh, that's right. They had to live in Phoenix for a year or for a month.
He's going into his 7th season.
Going into his 7th
season. So the COVID year, while they didn't make the playoffs, I remember a couple of times when we started the show, I was pretty impressed with how long he kept them involved due to the injuries and everything that was going on. Then he comes back, goes to NFC Championship game, and goes to 2 straight NFC Championship games. So
that's that. I mean, but Maddie's right. That's that Andy Reid can't quite get there. Like Andy Reid got to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And didn't
and even then though,
quarterback throwing up on the sidelines.
Well,
wide receiver playing with a broken leg.
Yeah.
Freaking leg.
Maybe blaming him. But at the same time, and it's a different time, but Andy Reid was there for a long time.
14 seasons.
Yeah, he was there for a long time. So I know it's a little more knee-jerk nowadays than when Andy Reid was in Philly.
Well, to be fair to Maddie, he asked like how long are we away from that? You said 2.
I'd say 2 or 3 seasons.
So that puts him at 9-10.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not that's not an outrageous.
I'd say I would think to me, especially in football, like it'd be crazy to get rid of a coach who keeps losing an NFC Championship game.
Oh, I agree.
Like that's crazy.
That's when you get thirsty.
Right. So if that's what he's doing, like Andy Reid kept losing in the playoffs and NFC Championship, if that's what's going on, yeah, he shouldn't be going anywhere. Then I don't know if Jed would. Jed really likes Kyle Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan is the one thing Jed can always point to that I got right. So, and that was like the turnaround for Jed York. So I think it would take a lot for him to actually move on from Kyle Shanahan. But to the question, I'd say maybe 2-3 years. I mean,
and to keep
it's happening right now with a lot of people, to be honest with you.
To keep the comp going, David Jackson says if Kyle Shanahan got fired today, he have a new job the next day. That's what happened with Andy Reid.
Yes,
that's that, and I couldn't agree more with David Jackson. That's exactly what would happen. But it's an interesting, it's a difficult conversation for 49ers fans to have because unless I'm missing something, I'm not as locked in as you are yet. Getting there. It's a really good squad again.
Really
it's
good.
a really, really good roster. And you're going to go in with high expectations again and falling short of, a Super Bowl appearance is going to be tough. I don't know how you, unless you can watch a game and go, "Phew, they weren't prepared." I don't know how you fire a coach for losing in the Super Bowl.
No, man. And I don't I don't know how you do it either.
I don't know how
I
you
really don't.
I don't know how you fire a coach either. And I guess this is just a weird thing with sports, particularly in football. When you lose a series, there's at least a conversation to be had. When you lose a single game to a team that you can't say is like we're definitively better than them, that's tough for me.
Yeah, I'm not Kyle Shanahan or anybody. Going up against somebody in a one-game situation and not being able to get it done once or twice, that's not grounds for firing or anything like that. Even if it happens a couple of times, like you learn, you come back, you try to get better.
Man, this is Chad is wild. I don't know who MTDG is, but he says Shanahan needs a chip. There's lots of caps in this too. Shaking my head, gave up a 30-point lead in the Super Bowl. Okay.
Once again,
how many more passes does he get? Last year don't count. Niners didn't have a quarterback against the Eagles. Besides that, how many passes? And then he comes back again in all caps. Ramsey gonna get him. How many more passes does Shanahan get? Man.
And my favorite thing about that, my favorite thing about that, I gotta bring up the original. Shanahan needs a chip. SMH gave up a 30-point lead in the Super Bowl. I'm sorry, he was the head coach of that team. And once again, gave up a 30-point lead. I'm sorry, he was the defensive coordinator of that team. That is so wild to me that goes on Shanahan's permanent record. That is crazy. He put up, 28 over 3 quarters on New England. And he gets blamed because New England scored 30-something straight points.
He does. The play calling gets criticized. Because
why doesn't the defense?
I don't, because
you're up 28-9.
Because the defensive coordinator, the head coach, isn't Mike Shanahan's son. That's why.
That is always great. That's lazy to me.
I don't disagree.
I'm not saying Shanahan's perfect.
I'm just attempting to answer the question.
I thought if you want to equate the Chiefs-Niners Super Bowl to him and blowing that lead, sure, he's the head guy. They were up by 10 in the fourth quarter. They had that game in hand. He let it go. You want to equate that to him? You want to equate the NFC Championship game against the Rams to him? Even if you want to say, if you want to be like, the Philly game was his fault because he didn't have a quarterback. Fam, the starting quarterback was the third-string quarterback. But whatever. The Falcons-Patriots Super Bowl is baffling to me. Absolutely baffling.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree at all.
Got love for you, Shanny. Keep doing your thing, man. You're going to get us to the promised land.
I do think falling short, again, is going to be difficult with this roster. Like, this roster's really, really talented. You're getting ready to pay Nick Bosa an insane amount of money.
Quinn Williams just got paid. So what the hell is Nick Bosa about to make?
And Quinn, and if I'm not mistaken, he's still second to Aaron Donald, right?
I think so, yeah. Yeah.
He is about to get an insane amount of money. But and this is just the weird thing about Kyle Shanahan's 49ers. His core of talent is solidified on this roster, except for the quarterback. We think we know who the quarterback is, but in reality, we don't.
No, there's a lot of questions with that quarterback situation. There's a lot of questions. And it
sounds like I missed this yesterday. Apologies, but or maybe it happened yesterday while we were on the air. Matt Mayoka told a station in the Bay Area that's not our family that Brock's he's on pace. He's on pace for week 1.
Mm-hmm.
He's on pace for the season opener. They are hoping he can return sometime during training camp.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I can't make that math work given the surgery. I think was it March?
That's a good question.
And then 6 months. Unless we're talking like the last week of training camp, then like fine.
Right.
But it sounds like at this point, like when they say I think Matt also said it's a slow ramp up.
Yeah.
So if the slow ramp up involves him being able to do some work in training camp before he becomes QB1 in training camp, like he's literally that quarterback the 10 days prior to the start of the NFL season.
Yeah.
Unless my math is missing somewhere.
No,
and that's very
possible.
possible.
It seems like it's going right up to the
It's
buzzer,
right there.
pretty much. And I don't even know how I feel about that. Like a guy who hasn't been able to participate in training camp, doesn't have any preseason games. It's going to jump in there week 1. Now, Brock Purdy went 10 weeks without playing last year, and came in there and did just fine. So maybe he'll be all right with that.
I was talking to Tracy about this in the latest episode of her Fangirl podcast. Tracy Sanders is available wherever you get podcasts from right now. But I feel like there's such a different, I would think there's a different approach to getting, rushed in during the season and then, going on to playing versus going into the offseason and knowing like this is your team now.
Yeah.
I think and with Brock, there's the added dynamic of, okay, you're going into the offseason, it's your team now, but you're hurt. So if you're not back week 1, then Trey's going to start or Sam Darnold's going to start. And it's not uncommon for a quarterback in this organization to lose their job because someone came in and played better. So it's like Brock Purdy's dealing with a ton right now at this exact moment in his life, headed, in that countdown till September.
He's got to be feeling like I got to get back.
Yeah,
I got to be there
absolutely.
week 1.
Absolutely.
And all the reports that I've seen about Trey Lance is he's looked phenomenal in workouts and OTAs and all this other stuff. He's looked like he's made a leap. So I'm sure Brock is hearing the same things, and he's like, "Man, I gotta get back. I gotta be there week 1, so I can make sure I hold on to my spot." So I don't know what's gonna happen with the 49ers quarterback situation. I believe that if everybody's healthy, Brock Purdy is the best quarterback. He should be QB1. But I don't know. I don't know because I don't hate Brock Purdy or nothing like that, but my heart is with Trey Lance. Like I would love for Trey Lance to be that guy. I would love for number 5 to be him. But
Trey's still a very unknown.
He's an unknown, and what I saw from Brock in those final 8, 9, 10 games that he played, I mean, that was some high-level quarterback play.
I guess the new Christmas tradition will be I'll just buy you the jersey of whoever the starting quarterback for the 49ers is at the time.
That's it. That's all we could do.
Hate to spoil your gift, but you're getting a Brock Purdy jersey this year.
Oh, no, that means he's going to get hurt next year.
Well, you're listening to D-Lo and KC on KIFM West Sacramento, 98.5 FM, KRX QHD2 Sacramento, ESPN 1320. Always live on the free Odyssey app, live on Twitch, YouTube, and Twitter as well. Live tonight at Cesar Chavez Park, we'll be hosting the Eric Bellinger concert. Completely free concerts in the park. Come through, hang out. Yes, it will be hot, but we're going to have some fun out there. DJ Oasis is going to be mixing on the stage before Eric Bellinger comes out, man.
Nice.
Pull up Eric Bellinger's Essentials, man. He can go. We're going to have a very good time at Cesar Chavez Park tonight. Again, completely free. Come through and hang out. James Ham's going to join us at the top of the 3 o'clock hour. We're going to give you the honorable mentions to the top 25 games of the Kings season. We begin that countdown on Monday. We've got the honorable mentions coming up here in just a couple of minutes. I had brought this up yesterday. I wanted to make sure we mention this. Zion Williamson appeared very, very briefly on Gilbert Arenas' podcast. And I thought he talked pretty honestly about his issues with dieting and essentially his issues with his weight. And he talked about, stuff that we've talked about in the past that he essentially confirmed. You've got all this money, you've got the ability to go out, you've got the ability to do things, and I just haven't been disciplined enough with how I eat.
Yeah.
And it was, I guess it shouldn't be. It was surprising to see how many people killed him for that response.
They were on his head like that for that.
Yeah, they kind of went at him for that. Like you make this money to be in shape. You're this, you're that, and it's like, man, you either want athletes to lie to you and say what you want to hear, or you want them to be honest. I appreciated Zion's honesty in the moment because he basically confirmed what we all speculated. The important thing for me with Zion is, and he said something else that I completely agree with. Zion's never going to be small. Right. He's not going to be skinny. That's just not how he's built. He's a big dude. Now, that doesn't mean he has to carry around a bunch of extra weight. It just means he's never going to have like a thin frame. I believe he could be shredded. I believe he could have a single-digit body fat percentage. But he's just never going to be like a small guy. His frame is big. He's always going to carry a certain level of weight. He talked about flexibility. Yeah, buddy, those things are important, but you absolutely have to, one has to go with the other. The weight has to come down. The flexibility has to be there. But I appreciated the fact that he seemed to he knows the issue. Will he address it? Because now that you've publicly, even briefly, acknowledged the problem, if you don't address it, you might be out of chances. Because it's like, we can't get this going. No, Zion told Gilbert Arenas and his crew he's not disciplined with his diet. He needs to work on his weight. He needs to work on his flexibility. Right. Now, if you publicly acknowledge that, if you don't do it, man, you're in trouble. You're in trouble. This is the moment for Zion. You got to get right.
Yeah, I mean, he absolutely does. I think when I listened to that, I was, I felt bad for him. I'm rooting. I wanted to continue to root for him. I still do. I want him to be great and reach his full potential. But there was a part of me that was like, man, like if it's not in you, it might not be in you. You know what I mean? Like you can't. I've never been in this situation, so I don't know. But it feels like you can't like food more than wanting to be great at basketball. You know what I mean? But I appreciated his honesty, and I hope that it was nothing but a wake up call for him. That's all it was a wake up call for him to get his stuff together, make sure he's on point, and be great. I'm sorry, I'm a little distracted because Sabrina Ionescu almost made every shot on this three-point contest.
She's getting buckets up. 916-909-1320. Let's get TC in here. TC, what's going on, man?
What's up with my two brothers?
Oh my God, has she really not missed?
I think she missed one.
Oh my God, she just missed that one. She has a 31 right now.
Oh my God.
What is the record? Oh my God. I think Sabrina Ionescu just missed 2 shots.
Give us a second, TC.
Oh my God. That was absolutely insane.
Oh my goodness.
Yo, that was an all-time
she missed 2
shooting
or 1.
performance.
I only saw one.
No, she did because she missed the second one. No, she missed the second one exactly when you said that. She missed the money ball.
That's the one I saw. I'm a little ahead on here. So
Oh,
that's the one I was referring to.
She might have only missed one shot then. I didn't know you were watching your iPad and not the TV. She might have just missed one shot in a 3-point contest. That was one of the most ridiculous things I've ever seen.
She hit both of the 27-footers or whatever, all net.
Oh,
nothing.
My goodness. TC, what's going on, man?
Man, what's up with my two brothers, man? She got that Curry shot.
She does.
Man, she does. Watch this. I think this is the one shot is that the one shot she misses right? No, she didn't miss that
on the
one.
right wing. That's the one that she missed.
Wow.
Jeez.
Wow.
Yeah, there ain't nothing you can do about that. That girl,
Man,
she got that 3-ball line.
Go out of your way to
She
see
missed
what
one
Sabrina
shot.
Ionescu
She missed
just
the first
did.
shot.
She had her competitors
Oh no, she
going
missed
nuts.
2. She missed 2. She missed the first shot and then that one that we saw.
She had her competitors going nuts over it. Go ahead, TC. We'll stop talking.
Hey, look. No, it's all good. Look, hey, check it out. So I was looking at a poll that was up, and I was, as far as the Kings, and it didn't make any sense to me. It kind of did, but it didn't. It was a poll about what was more important, and it was like a tie. It was like bringing Sasha over and extending Sabonis, and I was like, Sabonis should be winning that by flying colors, because what if next season Sabonis was like, you know what, bro, I'm out. I'm gonna go chase some money. Like we'd be out. We'd be out. Like, and so I don't see like this Kings fan base is like overlooking that situation. Like Sabonis was just gonna automatically sign up. Like, what if he was like, you know what, bro, I'm cool in the contract. I'm leaving. Where would we be at? I just want everybody to understand.
So
that,
what was the poll, TC? Was it like what was the better move, or what would you have rather done?
Yeah, it was like it was some phrase about like what's the better move, or like what's the moves, and it was a few of them. It was those two. It was like re-signing Harrison Barnes, and it was another one I forgot, but I just paid attention to those two, and I voted. Yeah, and I was like, I get it, but I was like, man, we as a fan base, we can't overlook that situation, bro. If Sabonis didn't come back, we'd be in trouble.
No, I agree, man, and I think that's where a lot of the outsiders. Appreciate you, TC. A lot of the outsiders, and I'm not blaming, I'm not calling anybody crazy, but we're here closer to it. We understand the importance of signing Domantas Sabonis, like what this franchise, what this city has gone through with trying to get free agents, trying to keep people here. We understood how vital it was to make that move when you could make it. So if you could free up some cap space, and maybe you don't get a chance to pick in the first round this year, but it guarantees you being able to sign him long term, I don't think there's any problem with that. And I think that you can make the argument that was the biggest deal that was made this year.
Oh yeah, I don't even think that's an argument. I couldn't agree more, because your group, Domas, De'Aaron, and Keegan, that's your squad is together. Your squad is together moving forward. Feel really bad for Sammy Wickham. She would have rather been anywhere on the planet than having to follow what Sabrina Ionescu just did. Lady. Sabrina scored a 37. Sammy scored like a 13.
Yeah.
Again.
And when Sammy, she like made 6 of her first 7 shots. And once she missed the third one,
it was over.
The second round, it was like, it's over.
You could have just walked off the floor. Yeah, it was done.
That's how crazy that was.
I can't stress this enough. Go out of your way to see the shooting performance that Sabrina Ionescu just demonstrated in the WNBA. One of the
great shooting displays of all time.
That was
a 3-point contest.
Absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible.
She missed 2 shots, man. She missed 2 shots.
They've added so many different things to these 3-point contests.
The
both
extra
of them.
Shot, the long range joint.
Well, the rack with
the rack full of money balls.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
Shout out to the starry marketing
Go
director.
to my standings.
It doesn't go to your standings.
I know.
Y'all don't know. Casey is so thirsty to get back to 500.
I picked Jackie Young
after he's gotten roughed up. Pocket watching.
I'm like 1 game under 500.
Jesse, what's the record?
I'm 5-3. Casey is 3-5.
Hey, can we do pocket watching for Sabrina Ionescu?
I don't think we even like Sabrina. I think, isn't she on her first deal?
Yeah.
What are we doing? Like Sabrina, like 455,000.
Casey's itching to play pocket watches now.
He's like a gambler, right? He's trying to break even. He's just trying.
He's been trying to add wins to everything for the last 2 days.
He's just trying to.
I got one yesterday. What I get with the? I got one yesterday. I can't
remember. It was the NBA media rights deal, which I don't think should have counted because it wasn't like a definitive number. I don't think it should have counted, but we hit the music and you got so excited that we'll come back. This is going to be fun, man. I'm really excited about counting down these top 25 games of the Kings season. We're doing that Monday. We've got the honorable mentions coming up. We'll dive into that. And plus, we'll talk with James Ham at the top of the hour here on Sacramento Sports Leader. It's D-Lo and Casey, brought to you by Sky River Casino on ESPN 1320.
Let's go. Hold on, y'all. I got the 13th round coming up. I don't even have my drink. Y'all know what it is, though. What up, Nikki D? 13th round, I have to wait. Nikki D's in the house, man. I do my boxing show. You watch boxing? No. Here, I'll turn the mic on now.
Oh, you live where?
On YouTube, Twitch, Facebook,
Every time
Twitter.
I come in here, you live when I be looking a mess.
We don't ever go off.
You going to the show tonight? No. I was gonna go.
Once again, tell the people bye. Like, okay. Nikki D,
I don't want to even be
the Bailey Show, 98 Rock. You know what I mean? Those my people over there.
Never a day when I look back.
The Bailey Show making moves. We be hearing things.
Hey, you guys really had the I didn't get a chance to listen to it, but you had the somebody that was on that flight.
Mm-hmm.
Do you believe it was really somebody on there?
Yeah. We talked to the lady who was on the.
What'd she say? I didn't get a chance to hear it yet.
She said that the internet was making it more than what it was. She wasn't saying the man wasn't real, like he was a fake person. She was saying he ain't real, like he stole her AirPods. She was accusing him of stealing her AirPods.
Because that motherfucker is not real.
Yeah. So she was saying not real, like he ain't keeping it real. She wasn't saying like he's a fake person.
I'm surprised they hadn't talked to her. Where's she at?
We found her. We tracked her down.
Oh,
right, we're back.
No 13th round.
Hey, real talk. We had some fun to start the show, but I walked out to grab my smoothie as I do every day at 2:15, and first thing I see is me. I was like, hey. The boss has us playing on his big screen TV.
I think we've gone too far.
Probably. The whole beauty of this show is no one knows what we doing here. It's us. It's the audience. It's the chatty house. Ain't nobody in this building worried about what we're doing. Now I see us on a 65-inch television in the boss's office, and it's like,
you think he was listening before or after Fat Joe?
Oh man.
No.
Oh man. I really hope he was in a meeting during that Fat Joe segment. Was the Fat Joe segment on the radio or during a commercial?
No, it was on the radio.
Yeah,
because we were afraid Bruce was listening.
Get that Boys to Men queued up, man. This really might be it. How did they know, too? They scheduled the meeting like 4 days ago. They knew we were going to mess up. They were like, hey, schedule it 4 days from now. They're going to mess up between now and then.
Hey, Damian, I just want you to know.
Yeah.
Give you everything I had. Everything I had.
What is wrong with you? Oh my gosh, man.
You guys are gonna walk into his office later. He's gonna play the Fat Joe clip back for you.
Damn.
So this is what y'all been doing for 3 years, huh? 3 years. Y'all been doing this.
Uh-oh.
Well,
Carlos. Uh-oh.
You know we got a copyright for that. Remember when we played that?
Yeah,
we got YouTube was like, you can't do that.
They need to stop that, bro. They need to stop that. Like, not everything needs to be copywritten.
Oh man, you gonna
Let it rock.
Well, isn't that your favorite song? Oh, I Want to Rock is your favorite song.
Rock. Oh yeah. I like. Well, no, my favorite song is I forgot. It's Teen Spirit.
Oh, Nirvana.
Yeah.
Smells Like Teen Spirit, which you can't. Oh, there you go. Yeah, you got it. You got it. It's okay. Quick question.
Mm-hmm.
I was catching up on an episode of Joe Budden podcast. Is Post Malone rap? Check out Corners of the Culture, by the way, available wherever you get podcasts from.
I don't think so. I haven't really heard Post Malone rap in like 10 singles.
See, I don't think Post Malone is a rapper either.
Mm-mm.
But people like, what the hell is he? Is he a singer?
He's a pop star.
Pop star is a good call. And the ironic thing about it is I don't blame him because he didn't really come in as a rapper. He had a certain sound to him, and White Iverson was White Iverson, so people just assumed it was hip hop. But White Iverson not even really a hip hop track like that.
Mm-mm.
He hasn't changed. He just
he hasn't.
He makes the same music he did before.
But he ain't gonna correct you if you call him a rapper.
No. Post Malone, I haven't liked much of anything he's done in the last 2 years, but
you will in about a month.
Well,
I'm not
there's that.
I've never been a Post Malone fan, but I thought we had a discussion on Corners of the Culture about like the state of hip hop and the fact that Lil Uzi Vert was the first hip hop album this year to hit #1 on Billboard. But it's like Lil Uzi Vert is hip hop. And that's where like the discussion became. And it's almost like, well, he's black, and then you work backwards from there. And you figure out like, okay, well, he's black, so that's one check mark for hip hop. Like, what else?
Yeah.
And like everything else, he doesn't check the rest of the boxes.
Nah.
But he's a hip hop artist.
Right.
And again, Post Malone is going to be #1. Like he's going to have the #1 album. It'll all be rectified when Travis Scott drops, which seems to be a debate on when that's actually going to happen.
Yeah, I know he's doing a thing in Egypt.
He's doing a thing in Egypt at the end of
the month.
At the end of the month, like at the pyramids.
Yeah.
But
I'm going crazy.
Yeah, there's apparently I thought the album dropped the 28th. But it may drop the 21st. It may drop an entirely different day.
And Travis be straddling the line between hip hop and not hip hop. Like sometimes I don't think Travis is. I think he's a rock star.
He does, but I think he's a hip hop artist. He does straddle the line though. Yeah, but to me, he's a hip hop artist.
More times than not, he feels like a rock artist.
I think Travis Scott drops heat though.
No, he does.
Like he drops heat.
He does. I like his music. I watched that documentary. I wasn't a big fan of the documentary, like in him throughout the documentary.
He didn't come across well in it. Yeah.
But he does that Astro World, one of the great hip hop albums of this last 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
That was a classic.
Easily. Let's get Manny in here. 916-909-1320. What's up, Manny?
Hey, D'Lo and Casey.
Bro, what are you doing?
From 12 to 4, you make me want more.
Okay. Cut. I just said we're playing in the boss's office, Manny. What are you doing?
He got dropped, bro.
Bro, Manny, what are you doing? Yo, Manny's weird, man. Manny, I don't want to know where Manny was going with that.
Manny could have just called, just talking about the Bulls again, bro. That's all we had to. That's all we needed.
I thought Manny was gonna call and talk about rap. We was talking about hip hop. That's bad. I thought he was going, bro. You got the chatty house bugging right now.
Like, I'm gonna tell you right now. Don't call this show breathing hard, bro. No, don't call this show breathing hard. We don't do all that, man. Come in with a nice, good voice and a nice, good opinion. Don't call this show breathing hard, man.
Hey, Manny, even in your text, pause. You just need to pause, Manny. Manny. Wow, dude. Literally just said the boss is playing us in his office and Manny calls in acting funny.
Oh, man.
Let's get to this list, man. Kenny put together a list of the top 25 games of this incredible Kings season. And we're going to begin that countdown on Monday. Each day we'll pick a game and we'll go through it in depth, man. There's a lot of great games we can dive into. A lot of these games we're going to watch back. But there's a couple of great ones that didn't make the list.
Yeah, man. So, like Damian just said, man, like it's a lot of fun going back and putting this list together and thinking about some of these games and these memories. And there are games that just missed the list. And I'll tell you right now, there are losses that I feel were great games this year.
Okay.
For different reasons that just missed the list. And we'll start with the losses. We'll start backwards.
So these are honorable mentions. So these aren't in any kind of order.
No
these
order.
Aren't like 30, 29, 28. Got
Just
you.
missed the cut. Missed the cut.
Got you.
We'll start with maybe your favorite. On October 19th, opening night, the Portland Trail Blazers came to the Golden One Center and they beat the Kings 115-108.
See, you're being a smart ass because that's not my favorite. I'm still frustrated with that game. I'm still frustrated.
That was a frustrating moment.
I'm still frustrated with that game for two reasons. One's the very obvious one because I talked all year about it and I never got over it. Even after the Kings won 48 games and went to Game 7 of the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah.
That technical foul on Terrence Davis was absolute garbage.
That was
especially with the things that we saw during the season. The fact that he looked at Dame Lillard the wrong way when that game was going the way that it was going, and they gave Terrence Davis a technical foul was trash. That, of course, is on the heels of our pregame conversation with the great Kendra Montgomery Block, who said, "Hey, after the game, if when we win, we're gonna shoot a purple light into the sky."
See, I think only you talked to her.
Okay.
Because I didn't know about that. I didn't know about that till the beam actually happened.
No, I absolutely talked to her, and she said, "Hey, we're when we we were getting our pregame picture in. Hey, when we win, every game we win, we're gonna shoot a purple light into the sky." Okay, dude. All right, Kendra, like, cool. I'll be on the lookout, I guess. Of course, didn't think about it for 4 more games. I don't even think I thought about it when they first won.
Right.
The beam was not on my mind, but we were told about it, and that freaking technical foul.
115-108.
That game still agitates me.
That was there was big time energy in the Golden One Center. In that second half, because remember the Kings struggled. They didn't come out and play well to start.
Yeah.
And they had to fight back, took the lead, was in control for most of the third quarter.
This is a KZ Okpala era.
KZ. Absolutely. He started at small forward, 16 minutes
for
KZ Okpala. De'Aaron Fox, 33 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists, 8 turnovers
Mm-hmm.
in that game. And I remember listening to D'Lo and Casey because I was on my way to San Francisco the following day. I was listening to D'Lo and Ham, and people were calling in, and they were on De'Aaron Fox's head for those turnovers. I think he might have 4 or 5 turnovers in the fourth quarter. But he hit some big shots. I remember he hit a 3-pointer where it was midway through the fourth or whatever, catch and shoot. He hit a 3-pointer. He leaves the follow through up, splashes all net, and he stands there with the pose a little bit, and the crowd is just going nuts. Like, that Fox, he's doing it. He's that dude. And they blow the lead, and then the shot that I think would have gave him the lead was kind of a fall away 3 in the corner, went in and out. I can say it now because the Kings have made the playoffs, and it was a great season. It was a great game. It was a
it
loss,
definitely was.
but that was a great game.
It just infuriates me to this day that Terrence got that technical foul.
I know. Damn, that was a moment too. People went crazy.
Oh, that Terrence dunk was because what was it, a 1-point game?
Yeah.
On the dunk, and then they were down 1.
Yeah.
Then the technical foul sends it to 2, and of course Portland has the ball.
Yep. Absolutely.
Trash.
Yeah. Big trash.
First of many times that the Kings got screwed by a
precursor to what was going on. Domantas Sabonis, this is something I'll talk about probably next week, but I'll bring it up now. Domantas Sabonis, 13 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds. Fouled out.
Yes, this was the can't stay in the game era of Domas. That's
Domas,
right.
13, 4, and 5.
That lasted a little bit longer than the KZ Okpala era lasted. KZ, I think, was 4 games. 3 games.
Yeah, sounds about right.
And then I think the Domas can't stop committing fouls era, I think that was like 7 or 8 games. It was a wild time.
It really was.
It's fun. You can laugh at it now. It wasn't funny then.
No, he couldn't. And then he couldn't make bunnies.
Now.
Like, he was missing shots close and everything.
Yeah.
And how about this? How about these times?
Okay.
David Doctor. COVID was Keegan was out with COVID.
What was that? 4 years ago? What was that? Is that right? Keegan was out
he
with
missed
COVID?
the first game because of COVID.
Wow. I forgot that's why he was out.
Damn. That's a throwback.
Keegan had COVID in 2022? Yo, that's crazy.
That was a throwback. And then he was back 3 days later. He made his debut against the Clippers on that Saturday.
COVID moved quick in 2022.
Yeah. So 115-108, that's an honorable mention. Top 25.
Oh, the vibe in that
game
arena
it was crazy. That's why it's on there. It was crazy.
I get it.
The next one, I got 5 honorable mentions here. All right,
okay.
So we'll move through them.
Okay.
But the next one, November 2nd in Miami. The Kings lose 110-107 on a Tyler Hero 3. That
Travel.
should have been a travel.
And
they end up losing the fall to 2-5.
That's right. Yeah.
They were in a position. This game, they played really well. Fox was out for this game because he got hurt in Charlotte 2 nights before.
Yep.
And Delly was out there getting minutes. And other guys were stepping up, and they couldn't bring it home.
Yeah.
They were in control. I think they were up by, I want to say, about 10, 12 points with about 4 or 5 minutes to go in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And then Tyler Hero went off.
Yeah, Tyler Hero went nuts.
Went absolutely off. What did he finish with that night?
26.
26 that night from Tyler Hero. But yeah, we'll always remember that one for the travel that was not called.
Yeah, I'm noticing a theme here. Terrence Davis. Yeah, no, now we got Tyler Hero in the travel. I got it.
Well,
okay.
Do I need to go to the next game?
Go to the next one. Go ahead.
5 days later, November 7th, in the dental office.
There it is.
The
Kevin
Golden
Huerter.
State Warriors beat the Kings. Let me pull up the final here. 116-113. Kings played a hell of a game. So in Golden State on this game.
So when you sent me the list, and it was actually fun going through the honorable mentions, because I was, I was thinking like, why is Miami on here? And I'm looking at the game and I'm like, man, I'm just not like Kenny. Like this doesn't register. And I'm looking at the score and I was like, what was the story? Oh, Tyler Hero. And then it started this chain where it was like, oh, the Warriors, the foul. I don't remember what happened in that fourth quarter though.
The Kings were up. I wish I had the notes from for the games. I'm actually have the notes, but this one off the top of my head, I feel they were up by like 13, 15 points.
So what I can't, so that's the part that I don't remember that. The box score has the Warriors outscoring the Kings 37 to 25 in the fourth quarter. And for some reason, I can't remember that fourth quarter.
Yeah, Steph went crazy. I think
Steph had 47
in the game.
7 of 12
Andrew
from
Wiggins
3.
had 25.
Yep.
He had a big fourth quarter as well. And obviously we talked about Kevin Huerter got fouled by Klay Thompson on the final shot and would have sent him to the line for 3 free throws. Little did we know that was not a foregone conclusion the way Kevin Huerter shot free throws early in the season.
Well, we would have liked the option for
That's
him to
all.
miss
I just
them.
want the opportunity.
just give him the option to
Kevin
miss
Huerter
them.
got fouled 3 times on the shot.
On one shot. And the ref walked away from him.
Yeah.
Get away from me, Kevin.
Yeah, man. So yeah, that was a great game. But another reason why I picked this game as an honorable mention is because
so we could say Steph scored 97 points against Sacramento in 2 games.
My gosh. This guy, I can't wait for him to retire. I cannot wait for him to retire.
Insane. He had a 50 and a 47 against Sacramento.
I cannot wait for this guy to retire. I'm done with Steph Curry.
That is ridiculous.
But this was the game where Malik made his proclamation. After this game, Malik was like, no, we good, man. We ain't even tripping off that. Kings fell to 3-6.
Okay.
And Malik was like, we good, man.
Was that the one where he said we're not going to splinter apart? Was that the one? Or because I feel like it was before.
He might have said this. I don't remember.
Because I feel like
might have been winless when he said that.
Right. I feel so the 0-4 is where I felt like he said we're good. Like we're okay.
He said it
we're
after
fine.
Warriors game.
Oh, okay. I thought this was where he
like,
said we're not going to
we
break
right
apart.
there, man. We right there.
Okay.
Just a couple of things here and there. We right there. And they proceeded to win 7 games in a row after this.
Yep.
Right
beginning with Cleveland.
Yeah.
Oh.
Another honorable mention, a loss. April 23rd. Game.
Can I say? Hold on. I was trying to do math, and that takes me a while. 36, 37, 38, 40, 49. The Kings bench outscored the Warriors bench 49-15. Because I was looking at we had
dominated.
We had Steph, Steph 47, Wiggins 25, and now I'm looking like, wait a minute. Malik had 24, Davion had 12. Look at that. Yeah, 49-15.
They dominated that game. And Steph and Wiggins were the only thing going for Golden State. And they brought them on home in that game. That was frustrating.
Can I throw some gas on a fire?
Yeah.
Harrison had 0 points.
Oh, well, this is when we came in here questioning Harrison. Is this
I remember that.
Is this when no, the other Warriors game, he only took 1 shot.
The question here, Harrison Barnes era.
How many? He was 0-4. At least he shot the ball this time. No points.
Hate to see it.
And then the next one, April 23rd, game 4 of the first round series between the Warriors and the Kings. This was arguably.
I remember where I was.
Right.
I think I was holding on to Willsie's shoulder, if I remember correctly. I think I was sitting right behind. I wasn't sitting. I was like, I was like, I think I had taken a knee or something. Like I was Tim Tebow out there.
Damian Tebow.
I just remember I had my hand on Willsie's shoulder, and I think I just grabbed his shirt when the shot went up, and we were all ready.
We was ready, man. We was ready.
And the only one that was celebrating was Drew Down.
Damn Drew Down.
And that waitress.
That damn waitress too. Damn. Tragic. What a game, though.
Oh, incredible.
What a game.
Yeah,
this
incredible.
Is it safe to say, I mean, we can have another list another time. Was this a top 5 game this playoffs? Game 4.
Oh man,
I mean,
think most of the Kings series was
the
top
setting
games.
was perfect. It was a Sunday prime time ABC.
Game of the
was
year is
phenomenal.
Derek White, right? Game of the postseason.
That's the one
Derek
that always
White.
comes. That's number one.
That's the one that comes to mind. I don't know if there was a game in the finals like that. I can't think of another game in that. But yeah, absolutely a top five game.
One of the games of the playoffs. That was phenomenal. Yeah. I mean, also.
And really, the only one like that, game 1 was really good.
Game 1 was good. Game 2 was really good.
Game 1 was a one-footed Steph 3 to send everybody home sad.
Yep, absolutely. De'Aaron Fox on the biggest stage.
Yeah.
With the world watching. I mean, I think this was one of the most viewed games that we talked about, like in the last 15 years or something like that. 38 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists. It's talking crazy to Draymond, called him out of his name.
Didn't Draymond going at Keegan that game?
Draymond, he fouled him crazy.
Yeah.
And Fox told him, like, yo, that's some blankety blank blank.
Yeah.
And then Draymond was like, blank blank. And De'Aaron was like, no, blank blank. No, you were blank blank blank. And
I'm a father. I'm a father and a husband. That's the great look. Y'all gonna respect LeBron James. Like, what do you even say when someone says that? Hey, F you. I'm a father.
Oh, I mean that game
Sorry
had
about
it
that,
all.
Dad.
That game had it all except for a Kings win. But I mean, what a game. What a game that was. I'm not gonna put it on the top 25, but it's an honorable mention. That was a phenomenal
It always
game.
drives me crazy too. Like the look was there for Harrison. Like I understand. Like we've dissected the final seconds so many times. I don't think the plan was for De'Aaron to not have the ball in his hands.
I agree.
He lost control of the ball for a brief moment. I think that threw his timing off. I think that threw everything off. It allowed Draymond to recover a little bit. But I was so sure that this was going to be De'Aaron's shot on Draymond. Kings win! Like, I was certain this was going to be the first major playoff highlight of his career.
Ran over as soon as the Kings got that rebound from Steph and called a timeout, ran over. I was like,
see, that's
here. This is about to be a moment, bro. It's about to be a moment. The place was electric during the whole timeout.
Because it felt like the game was over.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't.
It kind of felt like that game because the Warriors were starting to give it away too. Because wasn't it who called the timeout?
Steph called a timeout. Got a technical foul.
Yeah,
so once they call a timeout, you're like, it has to be like we're gonna get this last shot. Like it just has to be. And
Steph called a timeout, get a technical foul. De'Aaron hits the 3 to get it to 1.
Yeah,
and got it in a 2-for-1 setting.
Yeah,
and then it was like, hey, the thought at that point was get the stop and we're gonna score. And they got the stop, and everybody's like, yo, it's about to happen. And then it didn't happen.
It didn't happen.
Damn it. Before we get done with the honorable mentions, I finally got a win honorable mention.
Oh, that's nice of you. We're reliving Kenny's greatest losses here. Goodness.
I got a win honorable mention, and this one just barely missed the cut. January 23rd at the Golden One Center, the Kings beat the brakes off the Memphis Grizzlies, 133-100.
33-10.
33-10
in the fourth quarter.
Close that out.
Yeah.
I don't know if you were at that game. I was at that game. And
I'm sure I was there in the first half.
It was they went bonkers once the Kings started flexing their muscles on the Grizzlies. 22 3-pointers in that game. That was the one where Harrison hit 6 in the first quarter.
That's right.
And they were up by 1.
You're right.
Oh, no,
the
whole team hit 9 of 10 or something like that.
I don't think I was at that game. I think I watched that whole thing at home.
Yeah. So, and then the Grizzlies came back, tied it. And then the Kings went on. The Kings went on like a stupid. It was 33-10 in the fourth, but the run was 45-6. It was a tie game. And then the Kings went on. Well, it couldn't have been this because they won by 33, but it was like a 33-point run that they went on. They outscored them by 33 after being tied with 3 minutes to go in the third quarter.
Yeah, that's incredible. We got one or two more, or
that was it? That's the honorable mention. Now we're on Monday. We start the list, the top 25 games of the season.
It's really nice
for
of
the
you to
Sacramento
throw a
Kings.
single win in there for us to talk about.
Or do you think there's losses in the top 25?
We'll come back. I'm thinking. We'll come back. James Ham at the top of the hour here with D'Lo and KC, brought to you by Sky River Casino. Get in on the action. Sky River Casino is the place to play with over 2,100 of the newest slot machines, over 80 table games. Sky's the limit if you're 21 and over at Sky River Casino here on Sacramento Sports Leader, ESPN 1320.
Well, settle down, Lucky.
KC's list of moral victories. Oh, man.
Uncalled for, Jesse.
Yeah, that Steph timeout is wild. That's a wild footnote to that game. That play would be a lot louder if the Warriors had lost. Man, I wonder why I didn't go to that Memphis game.
This series was exhausting.
Oh my gosh, it absolutely was.
I remember the week before the season even started, and you guys were going at 95-7 the game. We were done on Friday. Like, how are we supposed to do this for 2 more weeks?
Yeah. That was an exhausting stretch. Absolutely exhausting. Oh, nice. Sorry, guys. Sarah just sent us a very nice message that I need to respond to. Is Manny still in here? Has anybody figured out what the hell Manny was doing?
He said he was going to get into hip hop after that, but I don't think we could have maybe we should have cut it at that point.
He was taking way too long. What's up, Jonathan?
What's going on? I just got to check something.
Oh, okay. You need me to get out your way? It's our man Jonathan. He's the one who makes everything. Man, I think Stacy's here just for our meeting. Boy, she's coming to drop the hammer on us. She's coming. A different day. There we go. Oh man. I see you, Dr. David. Yep, trade's coming. Oh, that was a good one, Rob Dub. I should have played P. Diddy. Good call, Rob. That's me. Me.
Jonathan, my main man. What's going today? Snickers, man. I fell to the pitfalls of the vending machine.
What was your question about Curry, Bryce? I missed it. Sorry. Did Stacy make eye contact with you when she walked in?
Ish.
Oh man.
She shoulder bumped him in the hallway.
She got that. Oh, you LeBron. She LeBron'd you. You're Eric Spoelstra.
She hit my shoulder. No way.
Like, she really's just coming in for us? Like, this woman has been at home all day and she's like, oh, I'm going to work now. Oh, man. Like, low key, she's been on vacation for like 2 weeks. She was like, I'm coming back Friday.
Man, bro.
I thought it was a joke. Maybe it's not.
Cue up the boys, the men again.
Oh, you know what we should have done? Rob Dub was right. We should have hit that P. Diddy. Every step I take. Every move I make, prayers up every single day. Such a great song. So damn sad.
It is.
Do you think he's the Kings Russell Wilson? Oh, do I think Steph Curry is the Kings Russell Wilson? If it's true, I'm future. That's a good comp. Steph's Steph's a bad man.
Steph is everybody's Russell Wilson.
Steph's a bad man. You check your text.
Oh yeah.
Every single day. Have you ever ordered anything from Fashion Nova?
No, I would though. I just haven't.
I did for my time off. I've always just been so bugged out. Like, hey, this is dope. Why is it $16?
Oh, man, I got some stuff from Shein. Shein.
Is that the one that's wrapped up in the Rico case?
I don't know nothing about that.
I think that might be the one wrapped up in the Rico case.
I hope they let them off because Shein is giving back to the community.
Hold on, maybe that's not them. Hold on.
Yeah, I got a couple shirts from Shein. It's all right. They're cool. Like they are what they are. But I paid like
I just get
combined $50 for 4 or 5 shirts.
Okay, no, that's not them.
Huh?
We back in here. James Ham going to join us at the top of the hour. Plenty Kings business to talk about with him.
Hey man, the feds need to leave Shein alone, bro.
I don't think it's Shein. It's my bad. There was the Rico cases with somebody else.
They out here giving back to the community.
No, I think the Rico
doing whatever they can to make a better place.
Maybe it's with somebody else.
That would be heartbreaking.
No, Shein did get hit with a Rico.
It was.
Yeah.
Oh, Kenny out here. Oh, you gonna get subpoenaed, bro?
Man, I don't know where I got this stuff from. I don't know, man.
What? I was telling Kenny during the commercial break, like I ordered something for my time off from Fashion Nova for the first time.
You got a short suit, huh?
Of course. What else do you buy from Fashion Nova? Yeah. I was like, yo, this stuff is dope. Why is it $12? Can I wash this? Is it gonna fall apart like while I'm wearing it?
Maybe, but it's worth the risk.
Well, I guess the gist of it, if it does, at least it only costs $12.
Right. No sweat off my back.
I guess. I mean, I don't really like throwing away $12, but hey,
I've thrown away $12 on worse.
Bro, you threw away $12 probably 5 minutes ago in the vending machine.
Oh man,
there's no way that king size Snickers cost anything less than $12.50.
Regular.
Oh, sorry, your regular Snickers.
I know they've been kind of slipping on that in that vending machine.
Bro, you're at that vending. How much money? Have you ever looked at like your Apple Pay statement?
I've been doing a good job not going to the vending machine in the last month or so.
Things haven't been the same since they took the fruit snacks out of there.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Bro, I don't want no Reese's peanut butter cup. I don't want a Snickers.
It's Reese's Day.
It is Reese's. I should have got a Reese's peanut butter.
See,
last time I got one out of a vending machine though, I didn't like it. So,
can you explain?
Don't know how long that was in there.
Oh.
That's the thing too. You got to check the expiration
You know what's
dates
wild? And I'm sure everybody who's like at work has it. There's tuna.
There's tuna and crackers in there.
There's tuna and crackers in that vending machine.
Come on now.
Whoever buys the tuna and crackers has to be let go. We can't work
Whoever buys it, let go. Whoever buys that tuna and crackers
has
in there,
to be a psycho.
We're gonna run that boys to men back because they probably ain't with us no more. Who was like, hey, let's get some Snickers, some Reese's, some Kit Kats, let's get some trail mix. Throw the tuna in there. Throw the tuna and crackers in there.
How much would you have to be paid to eat that?
I ain't eating that.
Well, pay me what Damian makes, and maybe I'll think about it. I mean, that's life-changing money.
Well, just wait till that 4:00 meeting. Oh, I got something life-changing for you, pal. Sit down.
Hey, what about me having to wait though?
So that's the one. They're bringing us.
Damian's gonna walk out with his head just down. He's all sad and stuff.
They gonna zap me.
They're gonna walk out. They're gonna give you the finger. Come in.
No. See about that meeting going. I'm probably gonna be walked out. Hey, they're gonna tell me too. Hey, don't make eye contact with Kenny. Or put on a smile when you walk past Kenny. And you better have your ass at the park.
Look, Damian, bust open out the door. No, bleep you. All right, bleep you. And storms out. What the hell just happened here?
Kenny, it's your turn. They got us in 2 separate meetings, 15 minutes apart. The crazy part, that's the part that gets me the most, is the 15 minutes. Like,
it won't take long. It won't take long.
That's long enough to be told what's happening and to sign the paperwork. That's
whatever it is, it's gonna be right to the point.
Apparently it is. Oh man.
Hey, real quick, I know we were talking about some other stuff, but did you see?
What were we talking about?
I think we were talking about Sheen. We're going to talk about something. Well, James is coming soon. Then
fun's over.
James is a fun guy. I don't mean that way, but the people come in to see James talk.
No, that's facts. He's here
what
for
he
Kings
needs to talk
basketball.
about.
He is not here for the nonsense.
Yeah. Did you see two things?
Mm-hmm.
I said I wasn't going to talk about this, but I'm not even going to argue about this. I'm just going to bring it up. Did you see Messi went unnoticed in that grocery store?
I saw as soon as I saw your tweet yesterday, I knew you were going to bring this up at some point.
I'm Messi more famous. I ain't going to say that. Maybe he's more famous. He got more Instagram followers.
I will say that grocery store was looking real empty though.
Who were we comping him to?
LeBron? I said that would never happen to LeBron.
Oh, it definitely would never happen to LeBron.
But
he got the Jason Tatum at the Drake concert treatment, huh?
But then everybody, LeBron's just tall. That's the only reason why. I said Prince was 5'1". He would get noticed in a grocery store.
Prince would get noticed at the Walgreens for sure.
So there's that. And then did you see Francis Ngannou, UFC heavyweight champion or former? I don't know. He's fighting Tyson Fury. Definitely hope he breaks off of Tyson. He won't, but I'll be hoping. He's set to make $8 million when he faces Tyson Fury in October. His disclosed payout in his last UFC fight. This is the guy. This is your heavyweight champion.
Not mine.
$600,000.
Yeah, it's not surprising.
So he's set to earn over 13 times that amount in one boxing match.
I wish more of these people would realize Dana's just ripping them off.
I don't know if this is the right word, but I feel like Dana has these fighters brainwashed.
It's 100% the right
word.
Well,
you talk to some of the fighters.
Yeah,
We've talked.
It's 100%.
Because they'll call him like Uncle Dana and stuff like that. Like he's so
Dana.
cool, but they don't realize like there's so much money. Like you don't need those guys.
He brings in like $1 billion each year revenue.
You should not be getting a 13% split of the revenue. Like you are getting destroyed by your company.
And this guy,
it's a joke.
Bringing in the money hand over fist, and they're like, "Yeah, no, Dana's right. Dana look out for his fighters, does he?" No. The second day they realized UFC. I ain't gonna say it's gonna be over, but it's gonna be in a bad shape. Once they all do what Conor did, that's the one thing Conor did that was right in his life.
Yep,
was he said, "I'm the star. You ain't gonna pay me no $600,000. You're gonna give me this. I'm gonna go over to boxing and do this. And when I say I'm coming back, you gonna give me my money. What? You're not gonna have me perform? Try me. I'll go box again." Yeah, that dude, Dana White, he terrible.
And you know who Conor has to thank, and who Ronda has to thank, and John Bones Jones has to thank, and anyone who gets a percentage of the pay-per-view has to thank? Brock Lesnar. That didn't happen before Brock Lesnar, but Brock Lesnar came from Vince McMahon's world, where if you're at the top of his card, you're going to get a cut of that pay-per-view. If you're in the main event at WrestleMania, they call it, what's the line, Bruce Pritchard? Discretionary, not discretionary income, but like there was no like formula to how guys were paid. They would look at the WrestleMania card and go, this show, or they would look at a pay-per-view card and go, this show is this match is this valuable. This match is this valuable. When you're the main event, you're going to get the most.
Yeah.
When you're the opening match, you're going to get the least. Brock Lesnar went over to UFC and go, wait a minute, I'm in the main event? You're going to pay me what? Nah, bro. If 1 million people are buying this card, 1 million people are buying this card because of me. And I don't know how many guys have that in their contracts other than, I know Conor had it. I know Ronda had it. I have to believe John Jones has it, but He's not the.
You think Ngannou had it, but he clearly didn't.
But again, it goes back to that brainwash thing we were just talking about.
I would like to.
I don't know if these guys know enough to do that.
I would like to respectfully talk to one of these guys and just say, look, man,
very respectful.
How are you guys okay with this?
Yeah.
Like as fighters, like they haven't unionized or not. Like, how are you guys? Like the one thing with boxing is it's kind of hard to unionize boxing because there's no league.
Right.
Right. It's just kind of the wild, wild west.
Right.
You're in a league.
Yeah.
You're in UFC is not necessarily the major leagues. It's just a league that is formed. You got Bellator, you got Ryzen, you got different leagues all over the world.
It's no different than WWE,
Yeah.
TNA,
You
AEW,
can
it's all wrestling.
unionize that league to be and they just don't.
They scared.
I don't get it.
You're listening to D-Lo and KC on KIFM West Sacramento 98.5 FM, KRX QHD2 Sacramento, ESPN 1320, always live on the free Odyssey app, live on 1320 TV. Back one more time, one more last ride with us, our buddy James Ham. Hammer, what's happening, man?
What's going on, guys?
Good, man. Good. We just went down the list. I don't know if you heard, we're doing the top 25 Kings games of this past season.
Okay.
The list starts on Monday, but I had some honorable mentions to about 3 or 4 games, honorable mentions. Let's see if any of these, I know you'll know them, but do you have any thoughts from any of these? Opening night against the Blazers, loss.
What's the first thing that comes to your mind when you think about that opening night game against Portland?
You know, it's funny. John Dickinson, who we all know, right? John remembers every single game, every date, like what the whole outcome was of every game. And for me, after covering so many years, so many games, they all blend in together. Like there are games that jump out. But like overall, I just think that the excitement coming into a season is always fresh and new. And opening night, it was one that just like gave you a reminder that this team hadn't figured it out for a long time, regardless of where they were and, you know, the new additions and the new coaching staff and everything else. You learned that it was going to be a process. And I remember right after, well, they were 0-4 to start the season. And I went to a local brewery here for somebody's birthday in Auburn, and there was a Kings fan there. And like he kind of like we bumped into each other, I'll say, and he was panicking. And I'm like, look, this team is a lot better than they've shown so far. And so like just hold out for a minute. Like they're going to be okay. Just because I had been around the team so much at that point that I saw what they were building and how they were trying to build it, and the spirit was different and all that stuff. And they just couldn't figure out how to win early on. So if there's one game that stands out there, I don't know what it would be. I just remember them dropping the first 4 and they run in together just like, you know, the 2002 Western Conference playoffs.
It's a very eloquent answer, James, but it's the wrong answer. The correct answer is that damn technical foul on Terrence Davis. That's
okay.
The answer.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Salty referee. Dude, don't look at Dame Lillard that way.
Crazy. Just kind of looked at him, just kind of peeked at him and gave him a tech. That was terrible. That was terrible. James, to your point, though, I do remember people they weren't mad after that game. They were almost hurt. They were like deflated. They thought
the Portland game?
Yeah, they wanted to start the season with a win so bad.
Yeah.
And not even the fact that they lost, the way they lost. They blew the lead. They had the lead for much of the second half, blew the lead. Our guy, De'Aaron Fox, had some costly turnovers. And people were just kind of sad, like, oh no, like maybe they're not that good.
Well, I mean, I think that's the typical Kings response. You have to always find, you know, it's always, oh no, you know, because for the last 16 years, that's what it was up until this last season, you know. And then we talk about like, that's their only 4-game losing streak of the entire season, right? And then they lose 3 like in November or early December, and they don't lose 3 in a row again for a long time. And I just always want to point out to people like, look, these things happen. Like there's always potential for a losing streak. The Kings like had a really good mentality about them last season, but at the same time, like you could walk into this next season and lose 5 in a row, like in mid December. I mean, that's just the way the NBA goes. You have an injury, you have stuff snowball, you have a bad run of games. Like those things happen. And so, yeah, like I guess I should remember better, like game in and game out, but that's just not the way my brain works. And I don't take copious amounts of notes. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever seen what Brendan Nunez does.
That is like that close to psycho behavior.
It is psycho behavior. Yeah.
Like he has like 10 pen colors and
yes, he color codes everything. Yeah.
It's incredible.
It's absolutely wild. And that's not how my brain works. So like when I don't take notes when I watch a game, I do my 6 quick thoughts and I write them during the game, things that are standing out to me, but that's how my brain works. I like sort of collect data by watching and figuring out what's happening and then mirror it to the box score and like make sure that what I saw matches up to what actually happened and then go from there.
I'm almost envious of the way Brendan's mind processes information. Like it's
a lot on that notepad.
Yeah,
that's a lot. And I like to write, so I'm like, damn.
Everyone's different. Everyone is totally different how they do their notes and everything else.
I got one more for him before we get anything. One more out of him. I think he'll have some thoughts from this one.
Okay.
The November 7th at Warriors loss. Kevin Huerter gets fouled 3 times in the final play.
On one shot. He gets fouled 3 times.
On one shot.
And they missed all 3 of them. Damn the luck. They missed all 3 fouls.
Just run off the court. Like, there's nothing to see here. It almost felt like that was the turning point of the season. That loss, because they lose that game, they win 7 straight. They kind of never really look back. And I think that was, I'm pretty sure that was the press conference when Malik Monk was like, nah, we're right here. We're okay. We're right here. We just got to do a couple things here and there, but we right there. What are your thoughts about that game? That, like I said, essentially kind of changed the season after that.
Yeah, that's in that block of games where they play the Warriors like every other day. And I think the one thing that stood out during that point, again, like the Huerter situation that happened, it wasn't great for sure. But the thing that stood out in that one is the same thing that stood out in the previous one where they lost, was that Chimezie Metu all of a sudden meant something different to that team and was able to like change the complexity of a game without having a big game. Like his ability to switch on defense, to defend multiple positions and stuff, it really stood out then. And like I'm hard on Chimezie at certain points in the season because I always feel like Chimezie does really, really well for long stretches and then loses his way. He almost gets like too built up with himself and then starts trying to do things that he shouldn't do. And it always stands out and it always ends up to be like bad things happen. But it was during that time where you started to really see not just Chimezie's value, but the need for that length and athleticism and switchability with the rotation. And like that, it really was like a spotlight on the glaring weakness of the team. And so, yeah, those games, like all of those games against Golden State early on, they were tough. They were learning lessons. And just like at the end of the season, they learned a lot of lessons by playing that team in the playoffs. And they'll be better for it. And I think they were better for playing the Warriors that many times early on before the Warriors kind of imploded and had a bunch of really rough times and then, rebounded to have a somewhat strong finish. But yeah, I think that's what stands out in that game.
We got the Warriors at their 2 best points in the entire season, at the beginning and at the end. That's when they were.
I can't wait to get them in the in-season tournament next year when they're imploding.
Yeah, well,
yeah,
they play good at the beginning and the end, not in the middle.
James, I feel like I do you have? Are there any games or maybe singular moments from last season that you can say, this is one of my favorite times covering the Sacramento Kings?
Yeah,
covering Sacramento.
Yeah, I mean, like every season has like the big game winners. I think the Huerter game winner was crazy, and that's something I think Mike Brown points to all the time as like a huge turning point in the season.
I think Monty does too, if I remember correctly. I think Monty referenced that moment during one of his press conferences.
Yeah, I mean, it is a moment that it not only galvanized the team, but it showed you the unselfishness of the group and they're sort of like steady under like really difficult situations. And then, like throughout the season, like there's always something that stands out. All of the times this Sabonis gets hit in the head and just keeps going. I think the Trey Lyles choking incident that stands out as like a big moment, though. It's like, hey, look, everyone keeps saying we're soft, and then Trey Lyles is like, oh no, that's not what's happening here. You're gonna be disrespectful, then you're gonna feel it. And so, like, I thought that was great. Like, there are moments that mean more than just like a win or a loss. And again, you talk about the 7-game win streak, or those games where they're teetering on the brink of having like a losing streak, but they figure out a way to win. I just thought it was a fun season, and again, they blend in together more than anything else.
Hammer, what did we learn today about Sasha's contract? I saw you tweet a couple of things that I don't think we knew before.
Yeah, actually, I had some discussions with Mike Scotto too from Hoops Hype. He's a good dude. We went back and forth DMing each other earlier today. So Sasha Vezenkov, a 3-year, $20 million deal. I think it's, I have the numbers here. I got them from Mike, what the exact numbers are for his contract, which are really, really good for the Kings. So it's, let me see if I can find it. 6.34 million in year 1, 6.65 in year 2, and 6.97 million in year 3 for a grand total of 20 million over 3 years. But the final year is a team option. And that is absolutely tremendous for the Kings, because, we all like to think that, Sasha Mania is taken over here in Sacramento and everyone's so super excited to see Sasha. And we just don't know what he's going to look like on an NBA court. We know he can shoot. We know he's has all the back cut stuff that he does that I think is really, really impactful and will be good for this team. High basketball IQ, physical, all those things. But that doesn't mean he's going to be an NBA player. We hope that he is. We think that he will be. The track record of European prospects that are that good in Europe coming over, shows that he should be pretty solid. But that last year, if it doesn't work out, you have the option to walk away. And the other thing is, if you have a player for 3 years, you get their Larry Bird rights. And so that's another aspect where, the Kings will be able to go over the cap with him in his final year, after his final year, if it does all work out. And so we got a guy who's almost 28. He's coming over, I think, August 6th. He'll be 28 years old. So you got him in his 28, 29, and 30 seasons. That's his prime. You're getting a guy in his prime that should be able to walk in and step into an NBA rotation and has a skill set that fits perfectly. And you just hope it all works. But if it doesn't, you're okay. You got some fail safes in there, which is really good.
A quick follow-up real quick. The third year, that's what allows them to go over the cap.
Yeah. So if you're with the team for 2 years, you get early bird rights. If you're with the team for 3 years, you get full Larry Bird rights. So even like during that season, they could sign him to an extension and lock him in if everything's working out well. But they can go over the cap. They don't have to worry about the cap with regards to him in that situation. And go ahead.
The difference is they can't do that with Malik, right?
No, Malik is what you call early birds.
Yeah.
And actually, I really wish that Malik would have got a 3-year deal, not a 2-year deal, because they signed him with the mid-level exception. And the mid-level, you're allowed to go up to 4 seasons. But whether it was Malik's people or it was the Kings, either way, they didn't feel comfortable with that. And so they signed just a 2-year, $20 million deal, right?
I think Kenny said that like 2 games into the season, like, oh, really wish they had signed him for a 3rd year.
Yeah, I thought so too. And that's always the problem, right? It's like you want to make sure that if you've got a good player and you've got a good contract, that you get that contract as long as possible. But we're also talking about a Kings team that just got bit by the Rashawn Holmes contract, where it looked spectacular when they signed it. And by midway through year 2, it wasn't. And, you started, actually, it wasn't even that. It was midway through year 1 of the contract. It started to go a little south on you. And those things happen. But like with a Malik deal, Malik's young. I mean, 24, 25 years old. And he's got a lot of really good basketball ahead of him. And the fact that you can't sign him for anything that you want when he hits free agency, that's a big deal. You want to make sure that you have all of the mechanisms in place to keep your players. And so the early bird, we talked about this the other day, the early bird, I mean, he can get over 17 million in year one. So that's a pretty sizable contract. And I don't know if he'll get more than that, but you can sign him up to, I think it's 4 years and 84 million is the math that I did. So again, I think it's good to have that third year with players. So then that way you do still you have a lot more control over their rights moving forward.
Sasha, is it Vezenkov or Vezenkov?
I think we're going with Vezenkov.
Vezenkov.
I don't think it matters though. Vezenkov. I mean, Nemanja Bjelica, like it didn't matter how you said his name to him, he would say yeah. Yeah. Like is it Nemanja? Yeah.
That's what he said. Like that's what he told us one day.
Yeah. Is it Nemanja? Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, bro, you're not helping me here.
And I think he was just whatever. And I remember I was with Jason at the time. No, I want to say it right. What is it? Nemanja. I always thought his name was Nemanja, but I don't feel like that's how anyone says it.
No, I don't think so.
That's
either.
why I always say, hey, tell me about Sasha's contract, because I'm just not bothering. He's Sasha.
Yeah, well, I think, and it's funny because that's not even his real name.
Oh, well, great. Well,
it's Alexander. It's Alexander Vezenkov.
Well, where Alexander the hell did Sasha come from?
I don't know. Like if you look at the
okay,
NBA...
well, my name's Leroy. That's what I want to be called from now on. Just call me Leroy. That's my name. Just because. The hell with it. It doesn't matter. Call me Leroy.
Just call me Leroy. Leroy, is that the bearded name? We're going with
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Now that
Leroy with the beard.
That's hilarious. I bring all this up to say I was just gonna say Sasha Vezenkov, but I know I want to try and get his name correct. But they had a tweet that came out yesterday from basketballnews.com, and it said EuroLeague MVP Sasha Vezenkov, one of Sacramento Kings free agency signings, scored 275 points in just 26 dribbles last year. And I saw that and I said, this is phenomenal for the Kings, because that's all they really need him to do. Like, be ready to catch and shoot. That's all you need to do. And if he's a marksman on that, oh man, I was rubbing my hands like Birdman.
Yeah, it's funny. I mean, if you watch that video of him, it's really impressive. It's like, what was the game where Clay scored 60 and he only dribbled the ball 12 times?
Yeah,
that's what it's like. He doesn't need any dribbles at all, and he doesn't look to dribble. He catches. Sometimes he gives you like a head and shoulder fake and then comes up firing. But he's tall. He shoots at the really high release angle, and I think he's going to have zero problem getting that shot off in the NBA. And actually, I think he'll have a lot more room than he did in Europe at the NBA level. Just like the spacing is better, and he's going to have all kinds of open looks. And he's really, really good from with open looks on the season. So yeah, I think he's going to be fun to watch. He really just fits seamlessly, and the back cuts and stuff are huge as well. He just gives you a different wrinkle than the players that you already have. And we talked about this before. Like, I think one of the biggest issues in the playoffs wasn't so much that Sabonis struggled, it was that all of his shooters struggled. And when you got Harrison Barnes like falling apart in the last 3 games, and you got Keegan Murray, who took 3 games before he started scoring at all, and then Kevin Huerter, who really struggled the entire time to shoot. This is just an added shooter. And same thing with Chris Duarte. Like, you just have more options. When someone goes cold, you go to someone else. And I think it's going to work out well for him.
You think Malik can... You think we're talking about that second unit? Obviously, Sasha is going to be a big part of that second unit. We were talking yesterday because we've talked about Huerter and the potential growth of Kevin Huerter, and how, like, I think he can actually be a little bit better than he was last year, especially after listening to him talk this offseason. Do you think Malik could take another step for Sacramento next year?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think he can take a huge step forward. Last season he was really good, but I think we get caught up in what he looked like in the playoffs, right? So in the playoffs, he was just a monster for Sacramento, and we all saw it. Like, he was so fun to watch. And like, what in the playoffs, he averaged 19 points, 5.4 rebounds, 3.6 assists. He was electric, absolutely electric. And he didn't even shoot the ball well. He only shot 41% from the field and 33% from three. What we need from Malik is not for him to be 18 to 20 points. What you need him to do is to find a way to smooth the peaks and valleys. And that means come in better shape. It means do your work early. It means be ready every single game. Because what happens is when you show that you can do something like what he did in the playoffs, expectations change. They change for who and what you should be as a player. And I really think that, as opposed to having these huge stretches where he's just so good and he's putting up 30 a game, and then other stretches where he's, putting up 4 or 6 points and really struggling, he just needs to find a way to be sort of even kill all season long. And the same thing I say about Kevin Huerter. Like, I think Malik can easily average 15 points a game off the bench. And that's like 1.5 points per game more than what he shot last year. That's just being more consistent and getting to the free throw line more. I mean, it's a guy that shot like almost 90% from the free throw line. Just keep getting to the line, find out new ways, watch tape of Jamal Crawford, of, all of the great six men that we've seen throughout the league that bring that energy off the bench. And I think, like even like Lou Williams, like find ways to do some of the things that they did and keep growing as a player. And I think he will.
Yeah, I was talking about this yesterday, and I think back to when I first, started watching Malik Monk in college at Kentucky. And, he's not the biggest guy or anything like that, but man, he's just a bucket. Like, he can just score. It doesn't matter who's guarding him, what part of the court he's on, he can just score. And I always wondered, statistically, is there more that he can do with his game? Can he get to where a Tyler Hero is, where he's averaging 20, or Jordan Clarkson, where I think he averaged 18, 19, 20 points per game? Can he get to that skill-wise? Then I guess a two-part question. Can he get to that skill-wise? Can he get to that on the Kings?
Yeah, I mean, I think the bigger answer is that I don't think that those other teams had the players that are playing alongside him that were going to put up the numbers they're going to put up. So, like, can he average 18 a game? Yeah, there's no question in my mind that if you let Malik Monk run wild for 82 games playing either as a starter or 30-plus minutes, that he's going to average 18 points a game. But that's not who the Kings are. So, that would mean fewer points for De'Aaron Fox, for Domantas Sabonis, for efficient scorers like Harrison Barnes or Keegan Murray. Like, everybody needs shots. And the same Kevin Huerter. Kevin Huerter is a great three-point shooter. Malik Monk is an electric three-point shooter, but he's more of a bulk shooter than he is like a true marksman. And that's something, again, those are areas where he can improve, but it's whether you need it. And, I think this team will be better by Keegan Murray ascending as a scorer and letting some of these other guys either stay where they're at or drop back a little bit, especially like a Harrison Barnes. Like, I could easily see a scenario where, De'Aaron Fox averages 27 points a game this year, but he doesn't need to. He could average 30, but he doesn't need to. This is, if you're going to win, if winning is the ultimate goal, then it shouldn't be about one player's stats. It should be about the team winning together and sharing like they did last year. I thought that was one of the identity of this team, was that they were very unselfish and that they all helped each other and that they all made each other better. And you should hopefully get more of that as we go forward.
Hammer, is there, talking about Malik and tying Sasha back into this, we talked about how the Kings just, running it back, right? They just stood pat. They've got their guys, Harrison, Domas, Alex Lynn, all of that. But it feels like, given, what Kenny just said, the stat about the shooting, without the dribbling, and, the playmaker that Malik is, it feels like perhaps the biggest adjustment for Sacramento might come with that second unit. Feels like Sasha's a really important piece in terms of Mike Brown, Monty McNair, the coaching staff, the front office for the Sacramento Kings, and it's up to the guys on the court to figure out how to implement him. And it feels like the biggest adjustment for this upcoming season may actually come from that second unit.
Yeah,
the most adjusting has to come from that second unit.
Yeah, I totally agree. I'll tell you this, like, if you really look at the way they played last year, like, if you add the floor spacer that Sasha is with that second unit, instantly there's more room for Malik Monk to run, right? But I'll point out the other sort of downfall. Malik Monk loves to throw the alley-oop. Who's he going to throw an alley-oop to on that second unit? There's no one. There is no one that he's going to be able to, do the drop pass. Like, again, I think Trey Lyles can do a lot of things on the court, but he's not. I mean, on occasion he puts someone on a poster, but that's not his game. That is, Rashawn Holmes' game. It is Chimezie Metu's game to go vertical and put someone on a poster. And so I think everything will be an adjustment for these guys. They're really going to have to learn how to play together. I think adding Chris Duarte to this, mix is going to be really interesting. And I think the key, though, is that you're surrounding Malik with really, really high IQ basketball players. And so you hope that just the overall IQ of this team going up, 10 points should actually help them be better. And look, this team doesn't have to score more than they did last year to be better. They need to play defense better. That's for sure. But they also, they can just keep becoming more and more efficient, and they have to grow the offense. Like we saw it in the playoffs. You ran up against somebody who knew how to stop what you were doing, and you didn't have a counter to it in a lot of situations. And so I expect this offense this year to be a little bit more dynamic and versatile than it was last year. And that second unit is going to be a big part of it.
When you, can you talk specifically about that? Because when you say more dynamic, do you think last year they relied a little bit too heavily on the three ball outside of maybe De'Aaron Fox? And this year they'll do maybe more scoring in the paint, more getting to the free throw line to go along with being able to shoot the three ball? What specifically do you think would make them more dynamic?
Yeah, it's interesting that you bring up a couple of those points, because if I'm not mistaken, the Kings were the number 1 2-point field goal percentage team in the league last year. This is a team that really could do a lot of things on the court. And they got to the free throw line a lot. So I don't know how to say I guess it's, how do you become more dynamic? What I mean is maybe more versatile. Maybe it's not just all DHOs. Maybe there are more pick and rolls mixed in. Maybe there are more other situations mixed in that help you get easier baskets. But what you can't do is rely on one specific thing. And then when somebody takes that away, when somebody double teams Sabonis or starts hacking him and playing him really, really hard, you don't have a counter for it. So the Kings finished second in field goal percentage overall. They finished first in 2-point field goal percentage at 58.6%. Free throw attempts, they were 7th in the league. So all of the things that you asked about, like the scoring, none of that was a problem. But what you got to be able to do is not be a one-trick pony and have some team learn something about you and shut you down. And that's why I think they, the next step in their evolution is to get better at the DHO game and start having more and more options off the dribble handoff. It also comes down to Sabonis being able to turn and fire that 18-foot jump shot. So there are specific players that need to do specific things in that offense to make it better. But also I think on top of that, you've got to be able to switch it up and do a different game and be able to play different styles and play fast and play slow and do all of the things that they did last year, but just do it better. And so, will they average almost 121 points a game this season? I don't know, maybe not, but, and they may not have the best offensive rating in the history of the game for a second straight year, but what they can do is they can be more efficient. They can be more versatile and they can be better. They can be, it all comes down to net, efficiency. Are you 6 points better than your opponent. If you're 6 points better than your opponent, you're going to win 50-something games.
He read off them stats. The Kings was cooking last year on offense. Boy, they was
well. That actually leads to a question I have.
Uh-oh.
It's not about offense. We'll come back. Our 1320 Kings insider and creator of the Kings Beat, James Ham, is here with us. We'll close out this day. We'll close out this week strong when we return on Sacramento Sports Leader, ESPN 1320.
Did you guys see that video of that little girl hitting Mike Pence with a water balloon?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Get him good? Did it break?
Oh, perfect.
Oh, it was flawless.
I haven't seen a better throw since Pat Mahomes was playing. Like that was spot on.
Yeah.
Hector, that's a weird question. Who are your top 5 athletes you'd want to see in person?
Oh, that's what we were talking about that yesterday.
Oh, okay.
And shout out to Kyle, who might have been listening because he's going to see Shohei Ohtani today.
Yeah, see, that's one.
Well, we'll get the rest of them. I got to throw these away.
Leroy. Where are you going, Leroy? I'll have to watch that. Did he freak out?
No, he kept it moving. Like he took it, busted on his head, and he just kept walking.
How old was she?
No older than 11.
Oof. That's a little too old to be throwing a water balloon and not knowing.
Distance too. It was from distance too.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look that one up.
She couldn't have walked that water balloon over and got it any perfect.
She'll be throwing 90 miles an hour in 5 years.
Wow.
The best part is the way she turned away from it.
Got his ass.
Bro, it was like she'd made that throw from like right field trying to throw someone out at home plate.
So I don't get this. Is that like was this the whole point of the like because everyone's throwing water balloons, right?
Yeah, I think they were all meant to. It's just she just had the best throw of the day.
Drilled them right in the head.
I'm gonna have to see this.
You haven't? Oh, you didn't see it? I thought you were watching it. She a legend.
No.
Watch it. Here, wait. Here it comes. Here it comes. Bang!
Oh, and you see her like turn around like that wasn't me. It wasn't me.
See that?
Yeah, that's that sheepish. I didn't do it. I can't believe that they're allowing people to throw things at him. Like, I mean, he's a political candidate. He was the former vice president of the United States.
Gutsy move, man.
I don't know whose idea this was.
That is a gutsy move.
Unless they provided the water balloons, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. That's another thing. I hope they did.
Did you see? Oh, hold on. See Alfonso's tweet. D'Lo and Casey waiting outside the boss's office after the show. Shout out to the boss who's still watching on his TV. The other boss. Y'all are too funny, man. The chatty house is funny. Y'all make me laugh. We're hanging out here with our 1320 Kings Insider. Definitely very funny group. A 1320 Kings Insider and creator of the Kings Beat, James Ham here. James, KC, you guys sure were talking about the Sacramento Kings offense a minute ago.
You're going to be a downer now? What's going on?
I'm not a downer. I'm a broadcast journalist. I ask questions. So did they do anything to address their defensive concerns?
Nope.
Okay. Because you said you said, oh, they don't necessarily have to score more to be better than they were last year. And I was like, well, I don't know that they're going to be better on the defensive end. So I feel like that might be the only for them to be better?
I'll answer further. Okay, so like Chris Duarte is a better defender,
Mm-hmm.
and he's more consistent than anything you got from Terrence Davis last year. He just is. You know, how many times do we see Mike Brown like teaching Terrence Davis defensive stuff on the court during timeouts?
Yeah, it's fair, but didn't you put Terrence in for offense?
Well, yeah, but that's not the way it works. You got to play both ends, and you can't cause your team to lose as many points as you gain by having you out there. And so, you know, again, it's about net rating. It's not about offensive rating or defensive rating. It's about either a negative or a plus on the other side of those two. And so I think by improving that position with a player like Chris Duarte, that helps. I don't know that Chris Duarte is like the answer defensively. I mean, he's a solid defender. He's a better defender than what you've had. I think Kessler Edwards, if he can actually get minutes, can provide a lift defensively. And, you know, again, it's very similar to the Terrence Davis swap out. I don't know if he's going to be as versatile as Chimezie Metu, but I think Sasha Vezenkov is an extremely high basketball IQ player. If you leave him on an island, he's going to get beat here and there, and that's just the way it goes. But number one, Chimezie Metu still got beat despite his athleticism. And then the other thing is, like, Chimezie never really learned how to use his verticality on the defensive end to help you. So he's not a true shot blocker, despite the fact that he can probably jump up and grab the top of the backboard. He just doesn't have that in him. And that's okay, because like if anyone out there plays basketball, you know, either you're a shot blocker or you're not. It's all about timing, and it can be a lot about athleticism and a lot about other things, but it really is about timing and you know, not being afraid to go up and you know, be part of a moment. And that just wasn't something that Chimezie did. Every once in a while, he'd jump up and block something and go crazy. But I think you're going to improve at that position by having a more stable person that knows the job and is in position and does the work ahead of time, as opposed to using his athleticism to make up for a mistake that he may have made. And, you know, if you can do that at every position, and you can get some overall upgrading cohesiveness because you've been together for a year, if you can get Keegan Murray to be a better defender in year two, you know, I think you can start to see how the Kings can be better defensively.
Yeah. Is it crazy for me to think that they'll be better just with another year under Mike Brown, getting better?
Yeah.
I don't think that's crazy.
Like, I don't think they're going to be
It's not
top 10 defense, but I think they can improve as a defensive team just with another year of cohesion, another year under the system of Mike Brown, understanding his philosophies and what he wants on the defensive end. I think they can improve. Now, can they improve enough with just that to be a championship contender? That's yet to be seen. But I think they'll improve just by showing up and being together for another year.
Yeah, and I'll add to that too. Like, Jordi Fernandez is the defensive coach, and he's a really good defensive coach. I mean, he trained under Mike Malone for a long time. He's trained under Mike Brown for a long time. But I mean, he spent 5 or 6 seasons in Denver with Mike Malone, who is, you know, one of the better defensive-minded coaches. Whether his players play defense all the time, usually comes down to like individuals. But like, this is a team that's learning, and then on top of that, you get Doug Christie, who's wandering around, pulling guys aside and teaching them things that actually matter in the game of basketball. It's not just like standard drills. It's fundamental. It's ways to think about defense, ways to think about like what your presence is on the floor on both ends, you know, of the court. And so like having Doug there, who's been working with Sabonis all summer, who worked with Davion all summer last year, you know, these are things that actually matter. And again, if you start winning, I also think the culture shift starts to happen where guys who have the potential to be really, really good defenders, but turn it on and off, like De'Aaron Fox, but there's going to be more times where he turns it on this year than last year, because he all of a sudden has like a new incentive to get his team to a different place, to get his team, you know, to the second, the third round of the playoffs, where that just, was always pie in the sky before until it actually materialized last season.
For those that were wondering what that noise was, James's internet is melting at the top of the hill.
It's trying.
It's normally James freezes.
Yeah.
Today, he may be melting.
Itsy bitsy spider.
I'm using the phone today because I was concerned about the Wi-Fi, but let's see if it holds out.
Oh,
yeah. Let's see.
To a commercial. You mentioned the coaching staff there a minute ago. I don't know, maybe a dumb question or just a nerdy question. Did they add anyone with Lindsay going to Stockton?
Not that they've announced yet, but this was a big coaching staff as it was.
Yeah.
So if they do add somebody, I'm going to guess it's a back of the bench person who, has some player development like background and stuff like that.
Lindsay was, right?
Well, where was Luke Louds? Wasn't he a player development guy?
But he's also a back of the bench assistant.
Okay.
At least he was last year. I mean, I think the hope was that you might have a coach get, a big job like Jordy, and then you could make some adjustments. It's very specific. I think you're allowed 3 front of the bench assistants, and then after that, everyone else has to be back of the bench. And that doesn't mean that like Luke Laux isn't a good coach because he's back of the bench. It means that you've got Jordy Fernandez, Jay Triano, and Doug Christie up front. And so it's just different. And so you got to work your way up, and it depends on opportunity. And so far we haven't seen that opportunity pop up.
One call back is we talked about that Kings Warriors game where Herter got fouled 3 times on one shot.
Yep.
They need to bring that, elevate that one guy who was the only guy on the bench that knew they had to foul. Remember when Steph was in the corner and they were letting the time run out. It's like, hey, you have to foul.
I can't remember who that was. I'm
not.
The eye test says Luke Louts is going to be moving up the ranks very quickly.
I think so.
Yeah,
I agree.
Especially with, Jordy probably having an opportunity coming up here pretty soon. If his being Luke Louts' opportunity doesn't come in Sacramento, it may very well come wherever Jordy goes. But some people just look and act like head coaches, and man, Luke Louts looks like a head coach to me.
He's got that look for sure.
Yeah, he looks like a head coach.
And he knows how to speak. He definitely, like, his storytelling was spot on. Everything was spot on. Yeah.
I think that's kind of an underrated part of coaching, or maybe underrated isn't the right word. I think that's a part of coaching we don't think about very often. We think about X's and O's and schemes and all of that stuff, and we forget about the simple element of communication. And if you're good, like Luke Louts is, in front of a microphone and telling stories and different things like that, it means you're a good communicator. That means when he's trying to get a message across to his team, to his players, he can communicate it in a way that they'll understand. He could communicate it in a way that they'll embrace. And that, I got a coach in front of me, and look what he does for a living. Like, communication is a really important component for a head coach.
Yeah.
I think it's huge. And the one thing I'll also point out that gets kind of missed is that some coaches have the ability to, spit a good game, and they, they're a good quote. So we like to call it, they're a good quote. There are other coaches that don't like the media and don't want to buy into the media at all, and don't want to have conversations with the media and allow them to be part of what's happening. Right. And so that doesn't play either, because, like, the media is still a powerful voice in your community. Like, a lot of what we write, we say on the radio, the things we podcast, like, people think long and hard about it. And, you're able to sort of change the dynamic by having honest conversations with your media. Like, if you can't explain the why to what you're doing and you want to get snarky, that usually doesn't play well, because it's not like your media members are like rubes who just started watching the game of basketball the day that they got a job covering a team. Most of the people that are, covering your team are seasoned. They understand the game. They think about the game. They're people who have watched a ton of basketball and know the game really well. And like, that doesn't help when you're disrespectful, or you're short with the media, or you just big time them and you don't think that they're an actual part of what's happening. And I know some people say, well, it's just noise out there. And that's very true. But like, if you got everyone in your city writing negative pieces about you as a coach all the time, because you've kind of made that the standard for yourself, and things go south, it's not like you're going to have any grace with the people who are watching and the fans and the people who are paying your bills. Like, that's just not the way it goes. So I do think that there is something to that, like being able to have conversations with the media. And it doesn't mean you have to be friends with the media, but like, don't be disrespectful, because we have seen that a couple of times in Sacramento, and it just doesn't play well. And you lose, people who aren't on your side or against you, but if they're fully not on your side, that's a problem. Because that's just like the public opinion, like, sways one way or the other with how you deal with certain people and how you deal with, personalities.
So Summer League, we think, is coming to an end tomorrow. What's next after that, James? Is it literally just, rest and relaxation? I know, well, Sabonis isn't playing. I don't think they have anybody else playing in the World Cup. Do they? Off the top of my head, I don't know.
Ooh, I don't think so. No. Yeah, like Sasha, I think is doing Olympic qualifiers, I believe, but I'm not positive. Outside of that, yeah, I don't think so.
Kind of your final month and a half break or so before. Well, I'm not saying they're sitting around doing nothing, but there's no Sacramento Kings business for the next month and a half or so, huh?
No, but I think September 1st is when you start to see most players roll into Sacramento. I mean, some players they don't come in till after that, but we've already seen that, again, guys like De'Aaron Fox have been in town a ton all summer long, but August. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. August, you need to go and get whatever vacation you had planned in and get it out of the way, so it's not a distraction. You're ready to roll and you're in great shape coming into camp, because you need to ramp up. And that's what, you hope that your players are doing this stuff all summer long. You send trainers out to make sure that they're doing their stuff and following through, just to check on them and do, basic follow through stuff. But yeah, this is sort of, we're entering the dead time after tomorrow's game.
James, I didn't need to see this from him, but I was really happy I did. Kessler Edwards' performance last night. Did you feel like that was a game that you needed to see from him?
It was. Yeah, I think he needs to show that he has the confidence to keep shooting and to be part of it. Like, there's only one thing worse than missing 3-pointers, and that's not taking them. Mm-hmm. And, so you can't have him lose his confidence in his shot and back away. I kind of wish that he had the opportunity to shoot more of the shots he's going to shoot in a regular season game, which is more of the corner stuff, not a lot of top of the key stuff, which we saw a few of those from him over the last, 5 or 6 games. But yeah, I think he did need to show that he's ready, that he can be a player. And, I think we're seeing the limitations very quickly, but I also think that limitations for certain players is okay. What you need from him, you're never going to need a game where he takes somebody off the dribble 5 times and goes and dunks a bunch of times. And if you got to that stage, then, everything else has gone wrong in your season. So the fact that, he understands his role is to, shoot the corner 3 and to, on occasion, do a back cut and get an easy dunk. That's great. But it's just really tough to show how good you are as a player when that's what you're asked to do at one level, and then you get to another like area like the summer league session and you aren't more than that. And I think people start to freak out a little bit, but I think it was a good day for him.
Do you look at somebody like Dom and think, hey, this guy should get a shot in the league? Or is he one of those guys that you talk about where you say, yeah, he could go to the G League, but he's probably not going to get to the NBA. He should just, that's when they take more money, maybe a 6-figure contract, and go overseas for the next 5, 6, 7 years. Where do you see him playing professionally?
Yeah, I mean, I think with a lot of players, they go overseas and they make good money for a bunch of years. And then there's always a point where they go, I want to give this one last shot, right? And I want to go back and I want to see if I can make it. We saw it with Jack Cooley. And, Jack Cooley is one of the great dudes ever. Just such a fun guy. But he's done incredible things playing in Japan. He's a superstar there and he wins championships there. And, but he needed to give it one more try. And I think that's kind of where we're at with Mike Dom. And I really like his game, but it's kind of a little bit of what you're going to see from Sasha Vezenkov. And, again, maybe he's a better shot blocker than Sasha, but like overall, I just don't think that he's going to get the opportunity here. Maybe he gets a training camp invite. And we talked about this the other day. I did go look it up. In the past, you were only able from July 1st until the start of the NBA season. Actually, I think it goes back even further, but July 1st should just say the day one of the regular season. You're able to carry, in the past, it was 20 players. They've bumped up the two-way contracts to 3, and they actually bumped up your roster size to 21 for right now as well. So the Kings can carry 21 all through training camp, which is good because that gives you 3 extra spots. If you have your 15 rostered players, your 3 two-ways, that's 18. And then you can have that extra 3 players to invite to camp. That's where I think the Kings need to figure out what they're going to do. And I know a lot of people fall in love with Jordan Ford and guys like Mike Dom, or like the guy I love watching is Alex O'Connell, all these things.
Fuck it.
Yeah, isn't he fun? He is so much fun. And he is electric going to the rim too. Like we didn't see that. We just saw the 3-point shot. Like he's got big old hops. Like he loves to go in and hammer on somebody. So so you got to make smart decisions here if you're building out your G League or your program, right? It's good to bring players in and give them a shot to compete and give them some guaranteed money, especially guys that you already own their G League rights. So when they go to the G League, they'll stick around. A guy like Alex O'Connell, if you give him $100,000 bonus to come to training camp and then waive him, he can still go to the G League because you already own his rights. A guy like Mike Dom, I think that it's a little different because he doesn't have, I don't think he has G League rights anywhere. So that's a problem. But still, I think that, between Jordan and Dom and O'Connell, like there are some players here that you're interested in. And then there's also a bunch of other players on other teams during Summer League that you should be interested in as well. Like the Summer League is a scouting event as well. It's not just about, like what you have in front of you that's on your roster that, whether they can play or not, or whether you're going to give them a deal or not. So I think the Kings will keep their options open.
Alex O'Connell going to finish second in MVP voting next year in the G League. He going to be that dude for Sacramento or for Stockton next year.
He's got one.
He
might not be on the real team, but they got.
He'll be on Stockton.
Yeah,
big league club.
On the point. Yeah, I was watching Alex O'Connell. I remember you brought him up. I don't remember if it was after a classic game or the first summer league game, but I was like, oh, that's James' guy. He's out there cooking.
He had like 6 threes in that second California Classic game. Like,
yeah,
like 5 of 6 or 6 of 7 or like something absurd like that.
Yeah, I think yesterday he was 5 of 8 from 3. Yeah, when he gets cooking, and it doesn't even matter. He's a dude who pulls up like jumping sideways, a little bit like Kyle Guy.
He don't care if he's cooking; he's going to shoot.
It's my kind of guy right there.
I'm gonna get this stove warmed up one way or the other. Good performance from Keon Ellis. I thought Keon Ellis stringed together a couple of really good games too, James. It felt like he. I had used I think we talked about it. He was like, it looked like he was jittery in Sacramento, and then the more games he played, the more it kind of wore off, and the better he got. And he was a guy that the broadcast crew was really raving about last night, how he can do a lot of different things on the floor.
Yeah, he's an instigator and he can rebound and he plays the passing lanes really, really well. He's a blast to watch. He's got a really good energy about him. And he's a player that, I think on a 2-way contract, they've invested in him and they're investing in him again this season. You hope that he can take another step, that he can get bigger and stronger. and basically, be able to hold down more of a position. And, his pathway to the parent club just got a little more difficult with Colby Jones getting drafted. But I like him as a player. I think that there's a possibility that they do some of the stuff they did early with him last year, which is try to have him run the point a little bit more. It's something I think they'll do with Colby Jones as well at the G League level, is have him run the point to try to add that element to his game. But even still, if not, I think he's a super high energy, super fun guy. He plays defense. He hits the 3 ball, and he's just kind of growing into who he's going to be at the NBA level. And he's one of those players that you drafted knowing exactly who and what he is, and you're just allowing him to grow into that role at the G League. Just be a really good NBA role player, and maybe you make it up here.
Well,
Jordan Ford played well too. Like there's some guys who I think had solid summers. Unfortunately, I don't know what it means for them. Jordan, it might mean something. It's the one I kind of get hung up on. Jordan, it might mean something. We know Keon's in a spot, Kessler's in a spot. There's a couple of guys along with Kobe. Obviously, he left early last night after falling pretty hard on his side on that dunk attempt. But I thought there's a handful of guys that had really good summers. I just don't know what it means for them here in Sacramento.
And we still don't even know what's going to happen with Neemias Queta. Like, that's the other one. It's just kind of hanging out there. That Neemias Queta is someone that, you kind of had a lot invested in, and then he got hurt. And, so we'll have to see how they handle that situation going forward.
James is real quick. Are we sure this is the final game tomorrow, or is there playoff implications? I thought it was over yesterday.
I thought it was over yesterday too. I thought it was over fully. So I have no idea. I think tomorrow is the last game officially. It used to be that you're guaranteed 5 games, but I think they went away from that. So I was surprised when all of a sudden they've got another game.
I thought it was 4, and then you got, especially when you have they had the California Classic, the teams that, then you had the teams that were in Utah, and then like in the middle of last night's game, the NBA was like, oh, here's Saturday's schedule, and I'm like looking at it, oh, cool, Sacramento versus Milwaukee, what the hell for? All right,
you get to see man,
Just got to see Mike Brown, his little grandson. That was good stuff.
Well,
I don't know if you saw it on telecast.
Look for the stuff in the crowd. I guess that's what we're doing, and then bitch about the announce crew, which I guess yesterday. I only did that once. Yeah, I only did that.
Jamal
once.
Crawford, and I don't know who the other guy was, but he
like Jamal. Jamal was good.
Yeah, Jamal's very fun. Appreciate you guys so much for being with us. Make sure you head over to thekingsbeat.com, become a premium subscriber over there. Subscribe to the Kings Beat podcast as well. If you're listening on ESPN 1320 AM, 98.5 FM HD2. If you're listening on the Odyssey app or tune in, you want to run it back. You want more D'Lo and Casey? We got you. Don't go anywhere. We'll run it back next year on Sacramento Sports Leader, ESPN 1320.
We loved you guys.
Well, guys.
I missed that joke from earlier. But
James,
it's been real.
We're going to meet. We're going to. Aaron has us on his 65-inch television in his office right now, which few things in the world make me more nervous than knowing that people are actually watching this. So we've got a meeting. We've got to end the stream. Hey. Dude, Rob W. been on a roll all day. He's been on a roll all day. Hey, I'm putting these all on the screen because I know Aaron can see them. Aaron's looking at these. Hey, thanks, guys. Thanks. Hey, appreciate you, Darren. By the way, Jordan Meeks low-key really funny in here.
Leroy.
Jordan had a day. Hey,
we hardly knew you, Leroy. We're just getting comfortable with that name, man. Come on.
I know. I was just leaning into the beard. Now I got to go into this meeting, and I'm probably gonna leave and shave.
Yeah, because now we got job interviews we gotta have.
Either that, or you're primed and ready for like homelessness and what's next.
Wow.
Just let it grow.
I'm staying at Amsterdam if this thing goes sideways.
That's right. That's right.
All right, guys. Have a great weekend.
If you're not doing anything tonight, man, come out to Cesar Chavez, man.
Well,
We'll
even
be out there.
if you are doing something, make this a part of your plans.
There you go.
Come out to Cesar Chavez Park, sit in the 100-degree heat with us. DJ Oasis will be mixing beginning in about an hour, and then Eric Bellinger will take the stage later on this evening. Again, it is free. We'll see you guys Monday? ?